Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the British Drift Championship 2021. We've finally made here, and I'm joined at a very sunny Teesside by the wonderful Ben Manuel.
Thank you very much, Mike Walton, for a warm reception. And yes, here we are for round one. What a fantastic start to the year. A lot of these guys are super excited to be here, as much as myself and Mike. And we've got a crowd as well, Mike, for this first round.
Yeah, we've got a few limited spaces here for some very lucky people that managed to get tickets. So we do have some spectators, which is a big change from last year and a fantastic, very welcome one.
Yeah, oh, amazing. It's so great to be in a position where we can offer an actual live track to people that are here. So a great start to the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and talk about explosive starts. Practice yesterday, we had some fireworks going off. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah,
it was absolutely mental.
Yeah, so many drivers just pushing the limit, but also getting back into cars. A lot of these guys have not been driving, obviously due to the pandemic and everything else. So just trying to get back in the seat, get used to the car, get the memory muscle working again, and get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, new cars for a lot of drivers, and they're going to be wanting to make a big impact at the British Drift Championship. So we've got a new line this year, so we are doing Teesside backwards.
Yep, so this is the start line for this season. We're going to be coming into the first clip in a reverse order. The drivers are flat out from the start line, missing through out the bus stop, and then initiating in towards clip 1. This is a 60 mile an hour entry against the concrete wall, so we put a concrete wall there for clip 1. Drivers are flat out through into the dog leg, and it's a front end clip. You see the 2 marks on the floor there, that's so judges can see where the cars are positioned on the track. Nice smooth transition as well as they come through towards clip 3 and then powering down towards clip 4. This then becomes a deacceleration zone, but also there is a rear clip and a wall there, Mike.
Yeah, so as we come around from clip 4 to clip 5, a very wide line looked for by the judges, and then a smooth but late transition from clip 5 to clip 6. Now from clip 6 we come away a little bit from the line, through clip 7 and then onto a power alley where drivers need to be putting the foot to the floor, get through clip 8, which is a front clip, and then back out to the outside line and across the finish line. Now the judges are looking for a very smooth, chaseable line and use the weight of the car to make the transitions rather than forcing it. So really nice and smooth. So let's get on to the drivers.
Yep, so as you can see, we've got the driver start lines. We've 60 drivers, I do believe.
60 drivers.
Yeah, I think we might have lost a few due to obviously damages and breakages over the course of practice. But some names to watch out for: Matt Holder finishing in 11th last season, close to the top 10, not moving up, but again one to watch coming through. Josh Holdsworth as well, another driver in his second competitive event, but coming through with drift games with Dave Egan in his little MX-5.
Interestingly, he had they built a new car for this MX-5 NC, but that had some problems. They moved on to NA, but he looks like he is pedaling it very well. So we move on to the next page.
Yep, we've got Danny McGuire, another driver, suffered some issues with his S15, had to take the rear subframe off that car, had some clutch issues, but just went and got his spare R34 as you do.
And then swap the subframe over and the diff and everything. Another driver to look out for that we've seen some brilliant stuff in practice is Damien Choppen, now in a white S14, looking absolutely fantastic out there.
Yeah, Josh Payne, another driver who's had issues with his engine and borrowed a car from his teammate Adam Simmons, driving a Z4 this weekend.
Yeah, a very standard Z4 as well. It doesn't look standard from the outside, but it even still has a catalytic converter under there for some reason.
Road car. That's all you can think. Yep. And then moving into the final group, you've got Max Fleckney, had a massive impact yesterday in his car, had some chassis rail issues. Guys have managed to get it straightened out, but showing a lot of form and getting back into it as well. Yeah,
really big effort for them and the whole team to get the car back out there. And we've got Stuart Adsley, who is now in his yellow R34, looking very good. A big change from a BMW into an R-body Skyline. But it seems to be gelling with it very well from what I've seen so far.
Right, and then before we get to the action, we are going to get some messages from our sponsors.
Yeah.
Drifting can be the most demanding motorsport in the world. My name is June Main. The high RPMs required to keep my tires spinning and rubber burning are brutal on engine oil. That's why Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer was formulated for performance on the track and the highway. Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer keeps my power on for split-second decisions, making every shift and turn count. When it comes to my engine and engine oil, I give it every advantage with Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
As a professional drifter, my results depend on numbers. And making all this add up is one product, Lucas Octane Booster. It delivers 3 times the boost and promotes a clean fuel burn that keeps my tires smoking through every turn, which even off the racetrack can be difficult not to do. Depend on Lucas Octane Booster.
Okay, so up here we have Josh Moore, heating engineer, driving a BMW E36 M50 Turbo. Now, if I know anything about M50s, that heating engineer, that he's going to need that.
Yeah, agreed. M50 is standard engine on these, but these guys obviously turbocharging it. And as you can see, Josh is off the line. This is the flat out straight. Oh, nice flick entry there. Slightly away from the wall there, a little bit tentative, but getting on that front clip. And as he comes down towards clip 4 and the wall there.
Yep, coming through clip 4 and into clip 5. Nice wide line. It's quite a smooth transition and a very nice line in through clip 7, clip 6 to clip 7, through the power alley onto the front clip of clip 8, and a very nice line all the way around.
Yep, as you say there, Mike, nice and smooth, a little bit away from a couple of clips there, but judges obviously will be marking for the position of the car. As you can see on the start line there, we have got...
Next up, Richie Gilby.
Richie's had a couple of issues as well this weekend with some drive shaft and gearbox issues, which I think they've ironed out. As we just get a rerun there showing Josh's line. You see the 3 lines on the floor there so that the judges can see where the position of the vehicle is, and it's used as an ABC line. So the closer towards the clipping points is an A line, and the further away B and C, and their points are deducted accordingly from where the car's position is on the track. And that's how these guys will be judged for their lines.
They're also judged not only on their position on the clips, but actually the line getting to the clips as well, and their transitions are very important. Fantastic first run, 86.33, obviously putting him into first place.
Yep, first driver out, second driver out as well, being Richie Gilby.
Richie Gilby, a plumber, driving a SIL 80 with a 1JZ engine.
So that's a Toyota engine in a Nissan.
That is right. Sponsors are Auto Extreme, NGK Spark Plugs, UK 6 Boost, EU, Drift UK, Raynham's Destino tyres.
And we're off the line, yeah. Rich just clipping the initiative, well, the exit, the cone. Oh, big wall tap and a massive straighten.
Very wide on that line, there's two bend. Completely missing clip 2, clip 3.
Oh, it's all gone wrong.
It's miles out. Possibly some troubles with that car, as we discussed. Driver's not been able to do too much practice, obviously due to the current situation. So
I think the issue with this is, Mike, he initiated very, very hard onto the wall, completely threw himself offline, come away from clip 2, washed out wide, was way out of line, and then missed. It just spoiled the rest of the run for him. So unfortunately, I dare say he might not even get a score, or a very, very low score. As you see, clips the wall, straightens, misses clip 2, wide, very way out of line towards clip 4, and then has a straight and shut down, and then reinitiates again. Whether the judges will see this as a run that they can score, I don't know, because you can't chase that.
You definitely can't chase that, and I highly doubt he's going to get a score from that particular run. Unfortunately, just trying a bit too hard at the start there. So let's see what the judges think.
As we come, as we said, a 0 there for Rich Gilby, due to the catalogue of errors.
Next up we have Eric Ludnick.
Very big wing end place. Yeah.
Huge car, huge wing. Can he make a huge impact? So Richie Gilby there confirmed with a 0.
All to play for on his second run. The pressure is definitely on for Rich there.
100%.
Let's see how the big Sora fares against the walls here.
Yeah, I mean he can be halfway through the track and still hit the wall. So let's see. There's some marks on there already. As you can see in practice, he's been tagging away. So let's see what he does. Yeah, nice weight transfer entry. Exactly what the judges want to see.
A little bit off of the clip there as well, Mike, but coming through the rest of the track. Missing.
A nice wide line through clip 5. Bringing it back again, but very shallow through clip 6. Is that going to set him up for clip 7? Hitting clip 7, lots of clutch kicks in the straight, and really struggling to get that car around the track then.
Yeah, it just looked like it came off power, car straightened up, unsettled it a bit more, and then wasn't able to maintain the fluidity coming off of the final hairpin around the corner. So whether the judges are going to see that as an unchaseable line, as you see the initiation there, just flicking across the cameras, gets through clip 2, but a little bit shallow on 3, way off on 4, starts to run the wide line out towards 5 and 6. Nice transition here, but all of a sudden comes away from the corner there, and the car just...
It's almost as if he's in the wrong gear and he's really fighting it and just trying to kick it to get it going again, and not really having very much luck with that, unfortunately. So, yeah, again, an almost undrivable, unchaseable line.
Yeah, absolutely. And the judges marking the first half of the run, but a very low score there. Right, next up we have Lithuanian driver driving an
E46 S54 M3 turbo.
So standard engine in this, but turbocharged.
Yes. Good combination. So he's off from the line.
Oh, nice power entry.
Weight transfer, but way off of clip 1, way over clip 2 as well. Missing clip 3, so it's put him on completely the wrong line. But nicely through clip 4, just about getting to clip 5, and a smooth transition. But I think the first half of the track is going to hold him up quite a lot. Way over clip 7 and through clip 8, and a nice wide, very smoky end to the show. But yeah, just the start of that run, Ben.
Yeah, he comes away from the wall, like you can see there on the replay, just missing clips 4. Pushes out wide towards 5 and 6, and a nice fluid finish for the run there. Whether the judges are going to reward the end over the start of the run, just missing on clip 1, we will see.
Next up, we have Christian Rice. Oh no, Iris.
No, no,
So
this is the score for the previous run.
70.33.
So judges liking the fluidity of that.
Yeah, liking the fluidity, even though he didn't get to a few clips.
A little bit to work on.
Still a reasonable score there.
Yep. Still got a long way to go through this grid, and these drivers will start to drop into the out of the top 32. So Christian Rice on the line in his 350Z.
VQ35D twin turbo. Not the most reliable engine we've ever heard of, but seems to be making it work as he fires in through clip 1 and clip 2. Slightly shallow, but a very smooth line through clip 4, and a very nice wide line through from clip 4 to clip 5.
Yeah,
Can he make that nice late transition?
Not showing a lot of speed, but definitely on the line there, like you were saying, Mike. Just managing to get out to all the clips, but looks quite slow coming around that final corner. And very, very tight on the inside there.
Yeah, he completely missed clip 8, way over clip 8 there, and as you say, quite slow. I mean, the drivers are judging speed, but at this, especially for the first run in Pro 2, they'll be looking more at the line the drivers can hold, because that's what you can chase.
Yeah, absolutely, but they'll also be wanting to get a score on the board. They don't want to go out too aggressive, end up spinning, not getting a score, putting too much pressure on themselves for the second run. So just getting through, settling the nerves a little bit, and being able to get a score on the board is key, you know, when it comes to trying to get a good qualifying position. And obviously the judges are rewarding that with an 82.67, so that'll put Christian into second place.
Score there.
Next up, we have got Ben Parry. Yep.
Ben Parry, another M50 turbo.
Popular engine.
Popular engine, leaving a line in that E46 chassis.
Oh, nice flick
nice,
entry. No,
massive flick.
no handbrake either, carrying all the speed.
Slightly shy off of 2 and 3. Can he make it deep into 4? I think he can. Nice wide line through 5. Can he make that late transition? He does. Nicely through 6. Slightly shallow away from 6, all the way through 7, and then bouncing off the limits around the big corner. That's a gear change as well, just directly on clip 8, which is quite nice to see.
I really like the initiation on that. Not using much of the handbrake, just weight transfer of the car, but did miss the clip 1 for me. You know.
He did initiate quite far over the track. The judges want 3/4 of the track over to start the initiation, and I think he might have been just a little bit further than that, but we shall see what the judges think. So just watching a replay.
As the scores come in, Ben Parry there dropping a 56.67, so room for improvement, but he'll be happy to get a score on the board, I'm sure, and then he can push forward for his second runs.
Yeah, definitely a safe run just to ease himself in.
Yep. All these drivers putting on they will be feeling quite a lot of pressure today, and you know, to get to the battles they've got to qualify. So consistency sometimes will brave the fortune of those. Others who are all aggressive and throwing it in, they were the ones that we're looking to get the higher scores. But as we can see, Matt Holder smurfing with his blue LEDs and his blue compact.
Drift smurf, still got blue hair, I believe. Blue hair, blue car, everything about him is blue.
Really?
Reminds me of the song. I'm not going to sing it. So 1UZ in this BMW E46. It's not an E46.
It's an E36 compact, yep. So small car, big engine. Hopefully making the torque of this work. It's not a massive amount of horsepower, 246. A CNC engineer, what an ideal job to have when you need to manufacture those all-needed parts after the weekend.
Last minute parts I need manufacturing, no worries, I can do that. Let's see what you can do. Again, a nice big weight transfer, but a little bit of a falter there on the entry.
Yep, looks like he used the handbrake there. This being a short car as well, you've got to maximise the length of it and commit to these clipping points, because you can think you're out far enough and you're not.
Yeah, there's half the car's missing off of the back of it, but yeah, a little bit of a straight in there after clip 7 and hand out the window, although missing clip 8. So across the line, very shallow around that last corner. So
a little bit scrappy, like you were saying. He initiates here and then catches a bit of a straight and gets back on the handbrake. Just getting through what would be like the clip C or the C line on there towards clip 4, and managing to push that car out towards an A, A or a B line.
I'm not sure it is. That looks like more like a C line to me for pretty much all of that.
So obviously with the clipping points, they've got 3 lines on their mic, and you have an A line, a B line, and a C line. The further out, the closer to the clipping point you get is an A line. That's the optimal line that the judges want to see. If you come in from that, you're not out as far, and then you get rewarded for a B line and a C line, and the points are deducted accordingly for where you are on the track. So as you can see there, for Matt getting a 54.67.
Yeah, 54.67, 5th place so far. Up next we have Steve McConnell in a 2JZ S13, a car that I approve of very much.
Obviously, and a great engine and chassis combination there.
Fantastic combination, and can he make it work? He does a very smooth initiation there, and very nice through clip 2 as well, and clip 3. Makes it very early to the wall. Can he hold it? Yes, absolutely fantastic line so far, nice and wide. Can we make that late transition quite snappy? Out to clip 6, this is going fantastically so far.
This might be up there as a top qualifying run. I'm not gonna give it the judge's curse, but I like that quite a lot.
That was absolutely brilliant. Like I say, fantastic engine and a fantastic chassis. You can't go too wrong unless I'm driving.
Both of
Steve
us,
McConnell, right? Steve McConnell, a Rolls-Royce engineer as well.
A lot of engineers in BDC.
There is a lot of engineers.
You can see why.
Yeah, you've got to. I think you've almost got to be an engineer in BDC if you're going to work on your own car.
Yep. A lot. You don't see many much other professions, but massive difference in what it's like. And as you see, massive score there for Stephen Connell, a 92.67, putting him straight into first place. So he can either go for an all-out run for top qualifier, depending on how the rest of the grid goes, or he can play it safe for his second run.
So up next we have Igis Minelga in their 300 ZX with their another VG.
Well, that's not a 300 ZX.
Oh, it's not.
It was no, unless this is
reading the page.
Unless this is a borrowed car. Yeah, he did have a 300 ZX last time. Great driver to watch, very aggressive, got a big presence out on track. Maybe this is a borrowed car. Who knows?
A borrowed car seems to be on the C line, as we were discussing a minute ago earlier, getting into clip 7, but quite shallow on all the previous clips, so before that point.
I wonder if this is a borrowed car, not had much opportunity to drive it, and therefore just struggling a little bit on getting onto the clipping zones, as we see a replay there. And you can see the back wheel there, missing clip 4 on the exit of the C line there.
Yeah, and just really quite shallow through most of the track. So yeah, as you say, maybe a borrowed car, just needs a little bit more time to get used to it, but a safe run and quite smooth as well, and the judges do want to see a nice smooth run, so that might play in his favour, but we'll see. 82, and the judges are rewarding the smoothness.
Yep, yeah, and it shows there as well that you don't always have to be super aggressive, and you know the consistency and the fluidity of the run can play into your hands. This is a very, very well turned out car, is this?
Yeah, looks nice, very nice.
Yep, Matt Smith in an E46 M3 S54.
Yeah, normally aspirated version, this one. So this is as it came out of the factory. I don't know what else it is. A massive weight transfer into the first. Just missing clip 1 there and a bit of a wobble. Comes through clip 2 and clip 3 and another almost reinitiation. Really, it's scrubbing the speed way off far too early before he hits the clipping points.
Yeah, he's middle of the track there, not utilising carrying the speed from the first corner. If you don't get the speed from the first corner and use the weight of the car to get out towards clips 3 and 4, it can totally destroy the second half of the run, and it looks like that's what's happened for Matt there.
Yeah, I think he had a little bit of a wobble and a little bit of a panic dabbed on the brakes and on the front brakes, and that just pulled him away from clip 4, unfortunately, and around the middle of the track to clip 5.
As you can see, they're just coming out towards 6 and 7.
So these BMWs have an immense amount of mechanical grip.
Yep, they do.
So you really have to drive them. When you're driving them, you have to wring the neck.
Yeah, and especially it not being a turbo car as well. NA, it's going to be what 350 horsepower.
Yeah.
So
and quite warm as well. That track's going to be warming up. So this morning it would have been a lot cooler, maybe less grip. So now the cars might be catching them out, the grip levels there.
Yeah, absolutely, that's right, Mike. So obviously as it warms up, and these guys running sticky tyres as well to maximum, because you want as much grip as possible. Drifting's not about having less grip. You need as much as you can get, mechanical and obviously through the tyres and everything else.
Yeah, you need to be able to learn to control the grip that you have as well. So here we have no information on this driver at all whatsoever. But he seems to be doing a reasonable job. It's very nice and shiny, that car, but very wide between clips 4 and 5. As he comes round in through clip 6, very shallow again, but coming away from that line. Does that give him the opportunity to get through 7 and 8? It does. A very nice line through there.
Yep, he had a massive wobble low on initiation, almost drove through clip 4 there, and then middle of the track coming down towards clip 4, carried way too much speed and ended up running wide. You just watch the initiation here, comes in, the front half of the car is way over your clip 2.
And a big handbrake drag there.
Yep, and coming back around the track, just out of position, which obviously got a wheel drop coming round the hairpin there towards clips 5 and 6, but managing to keep it together and getting a run on the board. We will see.
Yeah, so that was Jamie Lundley with a BMW E46 and another M3. Yeah,
as you can see, score appropriate for his position on the track. Plenty to play for moving forward into his second run. BMW seeming to be the chassis of choice at the moment there. Maybe that's because the price of Japanese cars has gone through the roof.
Yeah, maybe. So this is Ventsislav Georgiev. Hopefully I pronounced that properly, with an M62 B44 V8 in that little compact. Making it work as comes, wow, massive handbrake drag to get to clip 4.
Yeah, slowing down way too much there, just trying to extend the drift out towards the clip. Not what the judges were wanting to see, because obviously it is a deacceleration zone, but not to pull on the handbrake too much to try and get out there.
That's right, car looking quite difficult to drive actually for a V8 compact. They do normally seem quite settled, but it almost seems very sketchy.
I wonder if it's a weight balance issue, considering that they've stuck a massive V8 up there with a shorter chassis.
I don't know how heavy an M62 is. Is it an iron block or an alley block?
I think it's an iron block on one of those, because they do take a good turbo or supercharger, so maybe that causing it to be a little bit underpowered versus the weight ratio. But as we can see here, coming out the second hairpin, just a little bit off for me. I think this is going to be a mid-run.
75.33 does indeed put him in middle of the pack so far. Up next we have Aiden Dowd in an E46 330.
All the way from Ireland.
All the way from Ireland. So 330 engine, if that's the original engine, that is quite low on power, so he's really going to have to pedal this car, especially in these grippy conditions, to get it to do what he wants it to do. But let's see what he can make of this.
Yep, looks like he's got a set of road tyres on there, not the super sticky ones that all the big power cars will be running, which might work in his favour in terms of being able to drift as well as being able to get round the track.
Right, they don't look very wide either, quite narrow tyres it looks on the back there.
Which is obviously adjusted to suit the power of his car,
that's
the
right.
horsepower. There's no point in putting big sticky tyres on it if your car's running 250 horsepower.
No, exactly.
You're gonna struggle. As we just wait for the start line marshal to get us ready and underway.
Silver BMW. I think without the graphics on that car, it looks just like a normal commuter's car.
Be a nice thing to drive to work on a morning.
Yeah. Right, so massive. Oh my goodness gracious!
Wow.
So a really early attempt at a flick there, and that just went very wrong for him, unfortunately. Hope he's okay.
Yep. These guys all running hands devices, all the safety gear in there. Just initiated the car, obviously gripped up, came in, and yeah, massive impact straight into the corner of the concrete walls there. As you can see, track marshal just making sure Aiden's all right, and that's why these guys run full harnesses. He's got the hands device.
Yeah, hands device, a more recent addition to all the safety equipment that these drivers have to run, but as you can see in circumstances like this, an essential one.
Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen, especially when you're throwing your car into these situations. Full roll cage in there as well as everything else that these drive, and he's up and out the car, as you can see. He's walking around. So
seems to be okay. Hopefully that's just a bit of pride taking a hit there rather than anything else. So we'll get the car. Yeah,
get the car recovered, get the track swept. We are probably going to take a little bit of downtime to have to just get the concrete walls back into place and everything. But yeah, massive hit. But good to see that Aiden's all right and out of the car. So more a bruised pride than anything else. He might be feeling that in the morning, maybe slightly stiff.
I think so. That was a massive accident. Not something we want to see straight away. Not something we want to see at all, but definitely not so early in competition.
Well, that's commitment. That's what these guys are out here to do. They, drive. The judge is just inputting the score so that they can move the screens on and get us set up for the next driver moving forward. But back to this track, Mike, and it being run in a reverse layout. A lot of these drivers, especially who are new, have maybe not even driven this track in either configuration. So obviously it's all about commitment into that first corner, that you come off the start line, they'll be flat in third gear into this corner, initiating like we say, a good 55, 60 miles an hour to try and get the back of the car onto that clipping point, as you can see. So as you watch the replay, it initiates, and then just all of a sudden, car comes round, he's in the wrong position.
He almost flicked the wrong way first.
Yep.
He wanted to do a double flick, a nice big entry, but unfortunately didn't see. Can you see he flicked
flicks
before?
In, and then he's out of position as well, flicked too early.
And right into the front of that wall as well. The concrete blocks, they are so heavy, and that has moved a very long way.
Yeah, that's knocked it over. Designed obviously so that they're at an angle, they're not at an acute, as you can see there, they are angled for that reason. But yeah, he's gone to initiate, the car's gone the opposite direction and just straight into the wall. Whether we've got a wall there or not, it'd have been into the tyres and, you know, into the grass and everything else. But like we were saying, the initiation into this first corner of the dogleg is maximum commitment. They are flat out third gear. Some of the pro boys are going to be fourth gear entry, obviously with the stickier tyres and the higher power, to carry the speed to get from clips 2 to 3, which then sets you up nicely to run the rear of the car down towards clip 4 into the de-acceleration zone as they come through the hairpin there, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. So this track has only been run backwards in competition, I believe, once before, and the clipping points were in nowhere near the same place.
No, I think previously we had the start line was further around the corner down onto the west track, and you initiated round the blind corner coming up to where the start line is now, and then we used the bus stop as well to slow the cars down, because if you remember we had all the rain, the drivers were having to flick through the puddles, a lot of drivers having issues with cars, you know, sucking water through the engine. I remember Mark Brown in his Subaru, he got the V8 Subaru, pulled water through, ended up dropping 2 cylinders and finished as a V6.
It was a very wet day, I remember it well.
Yeah, you were sat in here commentating from the warmth of the cabin, and I was up in the tower judging in all the elements.
Well, I pulled some strings, and now you're here.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, because everybody knows, you know, being a judge and being a commentator, a man of many talents.
Yeah, very many talents, and that's...
You never know.
I'm just the least of them.
Yeah, I'll be back on the forklift later.
I noticed you on the telehandler.
Yeah, just doing my bit, helping out the guys and the.
Do you not need to go down there now?
No. Look, they've got the relief telehandler driver out there. It's like a big Tonka toy. Who wouldn't want to not drive a telehandler?
No, I definitely want to. I kind of want to have a go now.
Yep. Good bit of kit them as well. You can change the steering angle on them so you can crab. You can get it all to drive sideways, much like that BMW is going to be crabbing after that. Fortunately, it's a BMW. Not to take anything away from the build, but you know that's why these guys look for chassis and cars that are readily available, that aren't too expensive. Not to say that that's not going to have cost some money to build, but obviously you're not going to be wanting to build Porsche drift cars or Mustang drift cars or Corvette drift cars. Well, some people do.
So all Corvette drift cars, yeah. I mean, even the price of a lowly UKS body nowadays has gone through the roof, definitely more than an E46.
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly because of rust and the amount of drivers that have used them for drifting over years, that they've been smashed up plenty.
There's not very many left,
no,
especially none in good condition. I know I don't have one in good condition.
Not even a teal green one?
Yeah, it's not in good condition.
No. So what is the status of your car at the moment, Mike?
It's broken, it's in the shed.
Oh,
we don't talk about it.
So we'll just brush over that, people. We'll just leave that from Mike there. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. The judges said that they designed this track to offer maximum battles when it comes to chase drivers being able to get on the door of the lead drivers, to try and incorporate them to get what they call into the pocket, which is the 3-meter area where you want to be chasing the lead driver, because obviously the closer the proximity, the more points you're going to score for getting in there against the lead driver. And then obviously they switch it around.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so while we wait here, I can go to our new roving reporter, Michelle Westerby, who's caught up with Josh Payne.
So, Josh Payne, not exactly the start of the season I'm sure you hoped for. You're actually in Aiden Simmons' spare car, the Z3. How are you finding that? Because it's quite a different chassis to what you're used to.
Very hard work. Not the most power, but we're just having a bit of fun, see what we can do. And if we qualify, then that's a win for me.
That's perfect. I mean, obviously, it is a very fast track today, so being in a car that's unfamiliar, I'm sure, is difficult. Can you let everyone know back home, though, what has actually happened to your car? Why is yours not here today? I know it's been a difficult couple of weeks.
Yeah, so my car went on the rolling road 2 weeks ago, and it spun a shell. So we ripped the engine out, and we got a replacement to go in. It's just not going to be finished in time. So Adam let us use this. But yeah, we'll be back round 2 with my own car and pushing for the win, definitely, yeah.
Perfect. Well, best of luck for today. I know it's going to be hard work, but I'm pretty confident after seeing your last few runs, you're still going to be up there. See you later.
Yeah, no, an awesome, well, an interesting little car there. It's just it's almost a standard BMW.
Yeah, that's right. Adam Simmons, I think, uses it as one of the demonstrator cars. Obviously, he's got 2 of these chassis. Maybe he's just, he's got a spare.
I think he's just got a thing for Z cars.
Well, when he first built this car, we were not criticism, but we were very unsure as to how it was going to react and whatnot, thinking it's a small car, but it's actually the same wheelbase length as an S-body.
Is it?
Yep, it's obviously you are sat very, very far back. Your bum is on the axle almost.
Well, I went out in Adam Simmons' car yesterday.
As a passenger?
In his Z4,
yeah?
As a passenger.
And what
He
do you think
wouldn't quite let me drive it. But it is
I'm not
awesome
surprised.
bit of kit. Yeah, I wouldn't let me drive it.
No, I wouldn't let you either.
But that is an absolutely awesome bit of kit. Built by one of our judges, Jason Clark.
Yeah, Jason Clark, who's took a step back from competition drifting, wants to rebuild his RX-7, but yeah, done a lot of work for a lot of these guys, especially Adam Simmons, Biz Phillips, getting the fabrication work done. So at the minute we're having a look around Niall Gerety's BMW.
Yep, another S54 powered E46. There's lots and lots of tube work. Looks like it's on in there.
Yep, as you can see, they've got like the NASCAR style door bars on there as well, just to give them as much room in the cockpit as possible. So they'll take the door skins out and remove them from the inside of the car. So when they shut the doors, the side of the roll cage comes around into the door bar. So it just gives them a bit more room in the cockpit. Gone are the days of having the straight door bars or cross braces, just to give these drivers as much room as possible. You can see Colgate there, our start line marshal, just speaking with Niall.
Just talking to Niall. This is the first time Niall has competed in the British Drift Championship. He's an Irish Drift Series driver and founder of Old School New School Car Show in Longford, Ireland. Moved up from an E36 325 to the E46 M3 just over a year ago, and the best decision ever for Pro 2. Says he's looking for the top spot this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do in qualifying.
Yeah, some of these drivers obviously just seeing what's happened with Aiden previously. Maybe just having a chat. Is there any fluids on the track? Maybe they're just sweeping it up to make sure that there's no oil been deposited there.
Oil, debris, bits of glass, anything like that. There's going to be a lot of stuff, all manner of things.
So you can see the exhaust on the BMW there is really just looking downturned, not like your normal road car there, Mike.
No, so a lot of these drivers having to put downturn exhausts on their car. There's 2 tailpipes there, so it's hard to see. A very interesting setup there, but that is to deflect the noise, so it almost acts as another silencer, because the noise that comes out of the exhaust has to reverberate against the concrete floor or tarmac floor before it gets to your ears, so it dampens the noise and acts as an extra sound dampening
Can you tell that Mike Walton used to build Formula One exhaust with that explanation of why exhaust reverberation noise is so critical?
We didn't have to deal with that in Formula One.
No, exactly. Just send it out and make as much power as possible. But that's the reason why these cars run the downturned exhaust. As you can see there, it looks like he's got a short shifter on it, a hydro right next to his hand, so he can use the lock the rear brakes to reinitiate or settle the car when he's drifting.
It's a quite interesting angle on the hydro there. It looks a bit almost like you'd have to tilt your hand to get to it. But all these cars are obviously built. They're their own cars, built by the people that own them, and everyone just sets their car up exactly how they want their car. So you'll go into there, someone would sit in someone else's car and the layout will be completely different just because of personal preference, and that's because each individual person builds their own car.
Yep, well, different shapes and different sizes as well. Obviously, shorter guys, taller guys, everything is set very specific so that it's you know, memory muscle. Everything feels exactly where it needs to be, so that you're not thinking about too much what you're doing. Because obviously, when you're driving a drift car, you've got a lot happening. You've got your steering inputs, you're balancing the throttle, you've got obviously clutch movements if you're changing gear. So it is very much a juggling act and a balancing act between everything that's happening, and then being able to try and rub the car down the wall at 60 mile an hour, or be within a 3 meter gap of your the guy you're battling against. So there is a lot to be juggling all at once.
Yeah, there's a massive amount of concentration needed just to get the car to do what it's got to do. So that's why all these cars are set up exactly to the driver's specifications. Just going back to talking about the track earlier, and the smoothness that the judges want to see in the transitions, using the weight of the car to transition between the 2 points.
Yep. So
making sure that a chase driver can get as close as possible to the lead driver. That is the point of this track.
Yep. So like we've said, they've developed it so that it's going to try and generate close battles. What an amazing bit of kit this is! Just get the road sweeper out on the buggy, get everything cleaned up. And as you can see there, a lot of tyre debris is deposited on the track, but also, not going back to racing, but when you say that there's a grippier side of the track or a non-grippier side of the track, when you actually walk down there, you can feel it on the bottom of your trainers how much grip is deposited, and that's why when previously we have had rain and things like that, it just becomes so slick. It's like. Yeah. It's like marbles almost. It's
well, it does actually. The rubber deposited on the track is often referred to as marbles. And what happens is when you get a very grippy section of the track, a lot of the tyre comes off. Obviously, that's what the smoke is the tyre burning on the tarmac. And what happens is it goes for a stage where it's very grippy, where the rubber is deposited on the track, and then it goes for a stage of getting not very grippy at all when you get the debris, like you can see on the screen here. And if you run into all of that debris, you can end up losing a lot of traction.
Yeah, that's right. And also it sticks to the tyres, because obviously your tyres are super hot, you get the debris stuck to it, and then obviously you come back, as you can see there on the front, is a common sight, and that's why you'll see a lot of these drivers driving in a figure of 8 before battles, and that's to scrub the front tyres to get the debris removed there, so they've got maximum contact on the floor, but also to warm the rear tyre. And as you can see there, massive amounts of rubber, and that's just for driving offline as the cars come back round to the start line. So you will see them do a figure of 8, and we have what's called a burnout box as well, where when you put a brand new set of tyres on, you want to just take the outer shine off it, grip them up. So the guys will do a couple of burnouts. You don't want to take too much tyre off, and you don't want to heat up too much either, Mike, because once you've done that, you might have to wait on the line, or the tyres start to cool down again, and then you've got to do all the process again. Yeah, lining up is almost as stressful as actually driving the track sometimes, because you've got to time everything perfectly, make sure you've got, like you say, all the excess rubber off your front tyres, but also have your rear tyres up to temperature. Yep. And nice and smooth. But also checking the temperatures of the cars as well. So these guys, a lot of them will change the configuration rather than your normal road car by having a radiator at the front where all the heat management is. they will switch the radiators into the back of the car, Mike, take the boot floor out and rejig it. So if you guys ever get the opportunity to have a look at a pro drift car, a lot of these guys will put the radiators in the back, in the boot, and angle them slightly so that they can get maximum airflow over the roof of the car, down through the back window if they put perspex in it, and then the heat management pulls the air down through the bottom of the boot and out of the car.
Yeah, so there's quite a few reasons they do that. One is for weight distribution, because obviously a radiator holds a reasonable amount of water, and water is really quite heavy. So when they put the radiator in the back, it's changed. Most of these cars are quite front heavy, being rear wheel drive. So front engine rear wheel drive, that's what you have to run. You can't run any other configuration in this championship. So you have a front engine rear wheel drive car, and there's a lot of weight on the front end and not so much on the back, which isn't very good for grip, and especially when you're trying to pull away. So you put more weight in the back of the car, and it helps with your grip. Also, it massively increases the capacity of the cooling system, which helps the engine keep itself cool.
Yeah, that's right, because obviously the water pipes run through the car and out, and a lot of these guys run additional water pumps and everything like that to assist with obviously the water management as well. A lot of these guys as well, you'll see that they've got obviously intercoolers on the front for the turbocharged cars there, just to maximise airflow through the vehicle. And on a nice day like today, temperatures is key with management and airflow management as well.
Definitely, and they're not going to want to do run after run after run on this kind of temperature or on this kind of track, especially with a lot of tight transitions. You put a lot of heat through the engine, lots of clutch kicking, especially as they put the hammer down over that round through the last corner. That's a lot of strain and stress on the engine.
Yeah, no, that's right, and that's why it's, we've got a slightly longer finish line, just so the guys can manage the temperatures and get ready for the second battle. So some of these pro guys as well, which we're going to be seeing in practice later today, and then again tomorrow for the pro grid. What do you reckon a set of tyres will do, Mike, on here? 2 laps, 3 laps?
In pro class, maybe 3.
Yeah. So that's a full set of brand new tyres.
I was talking to Lee Barker yesterday, and he has I think he's got Tri-Ace on the back of his car, and he said he was doing 3 laps to a set of tyres.
Wow. So on an average, let's say 12 corners. Yeah. 12 corners done. Well, on a set of tyres on a road car, which you'd expect to do a good 12,000 miles.
Yeah, at least 12,000
miles.
Yeah,
absolutely. So as you can see, a very, very nice, sunny Teesside.
Yeah. Hope the crowd are enjoying themselves. Are you enjoying yourselves, crowd? Can we get a cheer?
No. Well, not obviously, because we're tucked away.
Maybe when some more action comes on, they'll liven up a little bit.
Yeah, just a replay there. Not a lot. At this point, Aiden's just a passenger. There's nothing that he can do at this. As you can see, just a MAF airflow sensor there flying down the track and debris everywhere.
It's just a horribly disappointing scenario to me. I have been there, Ben.
Yes.
I know how he is feeling at this moment in time.
We have all been there, Mike. I remember doing very much the same at a very wet NEC and ripping the front wheel off my E36. Managing to get it ready as well. That was the weekend Matt Stevenson clamshelled the rear of his E92 after smashing it up twice.
That is. It's also the weekend that I melted the block between cylinder 2 and 3 on my SR and my S13.
No surprise there, really. To be expected.
So it looks like the track marshals have maybe cleared all the debris off of the track.
So we can't really see, but we've been having some requests there to see if we can get a Mexican wave going. We used to do this back in the day and get all the crowd going to get a Mexican wave. Adam Simmons there sending a request in saying, let's get some crowd participation and get a Mexican wave going. Well, unfortunately, I'm sat in the editing suite and I can't see much of you guys. So if you want to get a Mexican wave going, you can start it somewhere down near the BDC merch tent. If we start on a count of 3 and we get you guys to get a Mexican wave going from the BDC merch tent where I know you guys are stood. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, Mexican wave. Can we get a start? We've got 2. Oh, it's going. It's getting a bit of...
Come on, let's pick up.
Come on, everybody.
Come on.
We're at a drift event and we've got a crowd here and we're allowed to watch some drifting rather than being sat at home watching on the internet. Get the crowd going. And that kind of died.
Out.
Yeah, definitely. I think we might have to try and get this going later on in the day.
I think if we get some more time later, we're going to have to practice that. You guys are going to have to practice that. That wasn't good enough.
No, absolutely not. But like we were saying, it's nice to just to be back at an event, get the crowd out, you know, so they can appreciate the hard work that these guys have been doing in the off season to get these cars built, and a massively stacked grid we've got for the round 1 of the BDC Championship.
Yeah, so 60, as we said earlier, 60 drivers today.
So,
okay,
yeah.
so we've got a sighting lap here, just to make sure everything is okay with the track.
Yeah, Niall not wanting to obviously initiate and damage his car by throwing it in and finding that there's oil on the track, so obviously for safety reasons they've just given him a sighting lap so he can see that everything's all right on the initiation, on the run up and the initiation to clip 1.
Yeah, and then shutting down for the rest of the track because he doesn't want to waste those precious tyres.
Well, like you were saying, there's no point putting extra pressure through the engine and wasting the tyres when you're not even going to get a judged run, so just making sure everything was all right for his run in a second, as we see him coming back round the track. Just keep the temperatures down on the car as well.
Yeah, come around the rest of the track, he'll line back up and then he will be ready to go.
It's nice to see that we've got a lot of the Irish guys have made the trip across as well.
Yeah.
For this weekend.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's not just a British grid. This year we've got lots of drivers from all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely. But mainly a lot of these drivers are UK based.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've travelled from out of Europe, obviously due to restrictions and things like that.
No.
But these guys are obviously UK based drivers, which you can tell with some of the styles of the cars as well. The very European E30 Mad V8s.
Yeah. So you see Niall there doing that donut that we were just talking about, just scrubbing all that debris off from driving around the track. He is going to line up. The start marshal check everything's okay and he's happy.
Doesn't look like this is a turbocharged car either there, Mike. No intercooler in the front of it, so looking like it's a stock engine.
Just a normally aspirated S54 engine.
Yep.
And it looks like everything is A-OK.
Smiles and a fist pump there.
Let the track marshals give the OK.
Yep, getting the thumbs up. Looks like he's been rubbing the walls already, knocked the lens off the rear light there. I wonder if he's
been having some fun in practice, that's for sure.
And that being obviously a protector as a bash bar, not running a bumper, but got a bash bar on the back there for this reason. So Niall Gerety off the line here, as we tentatively flick it in towards clip 1. How it should be.
That was absolutely fantastic. That was textbook, slightly off of clip 2 there, and nicely through clip 3, and quite early onto the wall, which is what the judges wanted to see from clip 4 and clip 5.
Yep, nice and fluid there as you come around the second half of the track, but what an initiation and what a first entry, getting the clipping points there. I think this is going to be a very, very high start. Him driving the wheels off this car, like we were saying, it being a normally aspirated engine, he was fully committed there into clip 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Just sort of wheel off there through clip 7, just getting a little bit lively onto that concrete. That is over the judged line.
Watch this initiation. He flicks it in and just rubs the car perfectly along that wall. And that is exactly what the judge wanted to see, carrying all the speed as he comes down towards clip 4, not using the handbrake to scrub the speed there. And really nice line as he comes through the second half of the track. I think he's probably going to be rewarded for that that initiation.
I would hope that he's going to be rewarded for that run, because it was very nice to watch. Just see what the judges have to say in an 85-point run.
Yep, as you can see there, putting Niall into 3rd place. Massive, massive commitment on that first entry, which has been rewarded.
Up next we have Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes having a massive accident in practice yesterday and jumping the tyre wall into the centre of the track. Can he not make that mistake today? Very shy away from the wall as he comes through clip 1, clip 2 and clip 3, and a big lock up of the brakes, front brake and handbrake to make that into clip 4. Quite late on the wall there, which is not what the judges wanted to see, but it's quite a tidy run so far.
Yeah, a lot of speed, but not a lot of position there from the first half of the track. Like you're saying, big clutch initiation into the first part of the track. A little bit scrappy. Whether the judges are going to reward the speed, but yeah, you'd be well out of position if you were trying to chase that.
I thought that was a fairly smooth run, actually, to be honest with you.
Smooth
just slightly away from the clipping points, but I think it was quite a fluid run.
Well, we'll see in a second when the judges
see what the judges have to say.
Watch the replay, and that's why we're not judges. I'm not a judge anymore. Yep. Yep.
76.33. So yeah, being rewarded for the fluidity, but not for being near to the clips.
A little bit of work to do there.
Next up,
this is a turbocharged BMW. Paulus Senekis, Lithuanian driver, an E46. Oh,
it's a nice big flick entry. That bonnet not looking very stable there as he comes into clip 1 and through clip 2. Very nice from clip 2 and clip 3 and early onto the wall. That's what the judges wanted to see, but maybe too early as he misses clip 4 and clip 5 entirely.
Yep, sacrificing the position there on clip 4, managing to get to 6, very wide out towards 7, which obviously pushes you out of line and then means that you're coming in too tight over the final clip.
Yeah, very scrappy run from Paulus. Look at the replay, yeah, miles away from clip 4 as he comes around that first hairpin.
Yeah, middle of the track.
And there's no way he can even get to clip 5, even if he wanted to. So.
Yeah, couldn't extend the drift out there. And then, as you see, comes over over towards clip 6, way out.
Yeah, far too wide.
Yeah, dropping a wheel, and obviously we'll get points deducted for a wheel drop. So for 1 wheel off, it's points deducted. 2 wheels off, it's additional points deducted, and then 3 and 4 wheels off will be classed as a 0, I do believe. But we'll get confirmation of that shortly.
Someone will definitely confirm that in a minute. So 61 points there for that run. Not what he's going to really want to see, to be honest. Next up we have Nick Davey in an SR20 S14.
Another Irish driver making the journey across. Nice, wide, fast initiation there. Over clips 2 and 3. Can he carry the speed and get out towards clip 4? Extending the drift slightly there just to try and maximise the position, but not looking too scrappy. Nice and fluid, carrying plenty of speed as he comes foot flat to floor and into what you've named Power Alley.
Power Alley. I was told by the judges it was called Power Alley.
Right.
Or one of the judges at least.
Which one?
Can't tell you, that's a secret.
It's a need-to-know basis.
Yes, I need to know basis knows. It's Jason.
Right, okay, so Jason Clark there renaming parts of Teesside. South Bank becomes Power Alley.
I like Power Alley.
It's got a bit of a tone to it. So Nick Davies' score coming up. Judges there, 75.3, so into 7th place.
Yeah, a little bit off the clips, but it was reasonably fluid, which is what the judges are after.
Yeah, a slight room for improvement there. Next up on the line, we have got the BMW.
Don Burke, 328 BMW. We're going down in the power.
We are, but not necessarily in terms of position. If you're down on power, gives you more opportunity to be a very good line driver as long as you're aggressive enough to carry the speed.
And that was a very smooth flick there, not as aggressive as we've seen before, on a big straight in the front of the track and a re-initiation with the handbrake. The judges are not going to like that. Very wide line from 4 through 5, nearly hitting the actual clipping point cone, and a large over rotation, and that's an opposite drift, I'm afraid, which is
just struggling. I think that's definitely a power issue. Yeah, struggling there to maintain the drift. And as you know, if it's an opposite drift and you're in the wrong position, it's going to be classed as a 0.
Yeah, that is right. So maybe the temperature of the tarmac there just catching these drivers out.
It does look like he's got plenty of air pressure in them tyres, but you don't know obviously as if he's put sticky tyres on or slightly too wide.
Yeah, so 18.33 points there for Don Burke, which means it wasn't a 0 for that opposite drift. So next up we have David Jackson in a PS13 with an SR20 engine.
Yep.
Rockets off the line there. Looks really aggressive, that car, and very nice entry. Very smooth through clips 2 and 3. Exactly where the judges want, but miles away from the wall. And clip 4 just hitting that very late, quite deep into clips 5. And the outside line through clip 6, that was very deep as well, quite nice, but a bit of a wobble there as he comes through clip 7. Maybe just trying to deal with that level of grip.
Yep.
Not being out there, we don't actually know. It's quite
well, as you can hear, he's clutch kicking, trying to get the car to rev up again and extend out towards the final clip 7.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers just seem to be suddenly struggling with the later half of this track, just with being able to get that power nice and smooth from the last hairpin round to the last big corner. So we shall see the run from David Jackson there.
Yep.
68.33. So the judge is not liking those wobbles really.
No, it's understandable if you're down slightly down on power, like you said. A couple of these guys struggling. So next up on the line, we have got Craig McLeod.
Craig McLeod, a software engineer. Let's see what he can do.
Look at the speed, a massive attack there coming in.
Yeah,
really fast. Yeah, nice on towards clip 2 and clip 3. Can he just extend that out to 4? He does as well. As long as we can keep the power down and nice and fluid through the clips there. This looks like it's a very strong run, Mark.
It does look like a very strong run, and I love the look of this car as well. This looks really mean. I'm not a big fan of S14As usually, but this looks really
well, big impact there on that run. Very good commitment into the first half of the course as well. And on the power early there, coming off of clip 4 as he comes around the second half of the hairpins. Looks like a good score, this.
I reckon that could come in at a reasonable score. Although around the bank he didn't get a very high towards the end of the run, but I don't know sure how the judges will get that. 84 points for that, so the judges are liking that run.
Puts him into 4th place though. Maybe the second half of that run there was the bit he can work on, but yeah, so you definitely take top 4 at this moment in time.
So next up we have Colt Harvey in an S15 with an RB25. Again, another nice set of graphics, all way too far on the inside of that line on clip 2, which has messed him up for the rest of the track, completely off clip 4 and therefore clip 5 as well.
Had some issues with this car earlier as well, was out in practice and saw it get recovered. So whether or not he's been struggling with some engine issues or something like that, but yeah, very nice looking car, great graphics design, well turned out, but maybe just struggling a little bit there due to lack of seat time from having a previous issue.
Possibly a bit of a lack of confidence there in your first run and just wanting to get just a run down. But yeah, definitely a few issues and the judges are not going to like it. Let's see what they say. 69.33, so the judges...
Yep, room to work on there, drops into 11th place, but obviously if he builds his confidence up knowing that he's got around, he's got, his spotters will be telling him exactly what to do and where he is in terms of position on the track. So up next, Paul Parnell in the E36 Compact.
1JZ engine in this, so not big handbrake through clip 1 and therefore too slow and coming inside on clip 2. Very wide on clip 4 there as he comes through slightly too far in the middle of the track onto that, just about getting to that C line on clip 5.
Very scrappy run this.
Yeah, very scrappy.
Missing the clip 6 there.
Yeah, clip 8 miles away from clip 8.
I think the initial problem with this run starts on the first initiation into clip 1. Just holds the handbrake way too long. He's sat on it and then lets on the power. He's too far inside on clip 2 and then he's back on the gas to try and get out towards 4. Carries too much speed and then puts him in the middle of the track as he's coming around the corner there. A little bit scrappy and then obviously pushing out towards the final clips on 6. It's not yet. And as you can see, middle of the road, 53.3, dropping him to 16th place for Parnell. So again, another driver who's got plenty to think about and work on coming into the second run.
Yeah, definitely. The judges were saying earlier how important the first half of the track is, and that just goes to show that run was exactly why.
So Archie Harmer, 14 years old, the youngest British drift driver to get his BDC licence, and what a show this kid is putting on. Wow, anyone would think he's got some mentors in the pits. Well, he has 2 of the best drifters in the world helping out, the Shanahan brothers, giving Archie all the pointers, and what a show this young lad is putting on. Oh, looks like he might have missed a gear there coming off that second corner. Sorry, the last corner.
He might be missing a gear in that gearbox. Very slow.
Nice initiation and full commitment there from the 14-year-old Archie. Very fast through the first part of the corner and lovely out towards the wall on clip 4 and transitioning through. But just as he's coming off the second hairpin, it looks like he's either a misshift or he shuts off a little bit. So yeah, as a chase driver, you wouldn't want to be backing into the rear of him as he comes off the power in a full power area. So we'll see what the judges have got to say about that. But massive respect for a 14-year-old to come out and just throw a BMW flat out into this track.
Yeah, that is exactly right. So big props to him, but maybe some more gear changes or a problem with the gearbox there. Something needs to be sorted of just limit all around. But the judges liking it.
Yeah, and rightly so. Obviously, the first part of the track he's been rewarded just a little bit at the end there, which has probably held his score back. I really like this E30.
Yeah? You're a big fan?
I am a big fan. I do have a soft spot for
it.
It is very, very Larry.
It does
V8
have some presence as well.
Yeah,
nice big flick into quarter one.
Look at this car, yeah. Just missing the clip 4 there.
Big rotation.
Looks like it sounded like a bit of a misshift there, and then back on the power, nearly over-rotating the car there. All the angle as well, and all the speed and smoke coming off the final part of the track.
Yeah. Impressive looking, but I'm not sure that's exactly what the judges wanted to see, especially winding on that much angle midway through the corner. So let's take another look at this. Nice aggressive flick against the wall, and then where are we now? Clip 4.
Yep, just coming around the second half of the track there, we did miss the almost over rotation, so not as fluid as what you'd expect. There is room for improvement, but yeah, it gets a solid 70 on the board, and like I said, the judges rewarding the drivers for the initiation in towards clip 1, which does take total commitment.
Absolutely. So next up we have
Canavan, yep.
Sorry for the pronunciation.
Another Irish driver. Wow, what a wide entry. Nice, fast initiation, not using the handbrake, just to balance the car on the clutch there.
Yes, this car will be very well balanced. Be an SR20 and an S13 body, so quite lightweight and lots of lively clutch kicks going there. You can definitely tell it's got an SR in it, but looking fantastic around the track. Glorious looking car.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. And a very aggressive Irish style there, keeping the power flat and just clicking the car to keep the revs up.
It was a bit washy there as he came from clip 4, because I think he came to the wall a little bit early, or wasn't able to maintain the line all the way through to clip 4, so came off just before clip 4 early. And then that sent him on the wrong line through that hairpin, which will be marked down by the judges.
So I can confirm, I just had a cheeky little message from Brad Onions, or 09s as we like to call him, that Archie's run would have been a 90 plus if he'd have managed to get the last half of the track and not have the miss shift there by the looks of things. But right, so back into it. George Buckley having a bit of an incident earlier in his car, getting off track. I think he clipped the wall on clip 4, but fast initiation there. Just a little bit off of clip 1, getting through clip 2, but big wobble there in 3. Just holding out from 4. I wonder if he's damaged the suspension on this car. Maybe it's a little bit out of sorts, but wrestling with it by the looks of things. Getting out to try and get a score on the board, Mike.
George Buckley, with the man with all the toys, just seemed to be having a little bit of problem with this car on this particular run. It also got quite a lot of damage on the front end of that, didn't it?
Yeah,
something happened in practice.
Yeah, in practice, I think he had a bit of an impact with the second half of the wall there. I'm not sure if he's damaged any of the steering arms or anything like that, but yeah, as you can see, the front of the car looks like it has sustained quite a bit of damage. Maybe that's why it's
just on that initiation as he was coming down the track. Looking at the front of the car, it looked like he had quite a lot of toe out, a lot more than maybe he should do, which is the front wheels pointing outwards, yeah. Basically.
So next we've got, I think it's Axel Hildebrand.
Yes, we have Axel Hildebrand.
Yep.
When he is doing a good lap, he looks absolutely fantastic, does Axel. So we'll see. Are we going to have a good lap? Let's hope so, as he leaves the line.
Fast initiation,
very
and a nice
fast
early entry. C-line clip there towards 1 and fast through 2 and nice, and carried the speed there from 3 out to 4.
It's a nice little dab of the foot brake there. Might brought him away from the wall a little bit too early,
like
unfortunately.
Pulled him away on clip 4 there, but very, very aggressive. A lot of smoke, a lot of impact, presence on track. Maybe that'll be rewarded by the judges. Could have been a little bit stronger on clip 1 and clip 4, but another good lap there.
Still a reasonably solid run, I think. Nice entry as well.
Yeah, scary when you flick the car in against the wall and you're facing it at 60 mile an hour thinking, oh, I hope it grips up the other way.
Exactly, but Axel holding it all together. RB25 in that Nissan S14, sounding absolutely glorious around the track.
Yep,
and the judges liking it with an 85.33 run, puts him in 3rd position.
Axel will be happy with that and his team.
Very happy.
So the man, Josh Payne, in Adam Simmons' show car, shall we say?
in his secondary car.
Yeah, it's his practice car. So underpowered, 2.8. Yeah, he's struggling slightly there, off clip 1 and 2. Josh obviously having issues with his car, as Michelle was interviewing him earlier. And this car, ideal for, if it was wet, this would have been absolutely perfect.
Absolutely fantastic, I think, but yeah, just unfortunately lacking in a bit of power and struggling. As you can see, he's trying to throw the car around it mid-corner just to keep it going. So not quite on the line that he would hope for, unfortunately, and a little bit wavy in places. So I imagine, very nowhere near, almost
drove through clip 2 there.
Yeah, I think that was almost driving the wrong way through clip 2 there, on the wrong angle.
Managed to piece it together though, and gets hopefully gets a score on the board, so he's got something to work towards. But yeah, 25th at the bottom end of the drop zone there, with plenty of drivers to go in front. So not sure what Josh is going to do for his second run. Maybe he'll just throw caution to the wind, or maybe he's holding him back a little bit with it being a borrowed car.
I think he'll probably put a bit more pressure in the tyres and just go for it.
What do you reckon? 80, 100 psi?
Probably. I think he needs it. Looks like he needs it.
Yeah, and when you say that as well, tyre pressure is one of the key factors here today as well when it comes to the setup of the car and things like that. If you've not got much power, you need to put as much pressure in them tyres as possible to take some of the grip away.
Yeah, and that is right. So too much grip is a bad thing, too little grip is a bad thing. You need to get the setup just right.
And find that sweet spot. So on the line we have got Owen Atkinson in the RX. I think this is a V8 turbo. As you can see, Colgate there, Lee Colgate, our start line marshal, just on the intercom, talking to the track team. Yeah, Owen Atkinson. Yeah, so it's a 1UZ turbo.
Nice. V8 in an RX 8.
Yep, with a turbo bolted on for good measure. Local driver as well as Owen.
What can possibly go wrong?
Kaboom. No.
And
Owen knows his track like the back of his hand, local driver. Whether he's driven it in reverse, I don't know, but we will see. Nice flick entry.
A little bit hesitant there, and not quite on the deepest line that we'd like to see.
No, big angle as well there.
After that clip, shallow on clip 4 as well. And it's just every time everyone's shallow on clip 4, clip 5 just seems almost impossible to get to. Nice wide through clip 7 and clip 8. And following the run up quite nicely.
And a nice wide finish there as they come over the line. Not a bad run. Areas where obviously again he could improve, but as you watch there, he carries a lot of speed out of 4, and then out towards 5 is on a mid-track line, should we say?
Looked like a reasonably fluid run, which is what the judges want to see, but just not quite in the clips as much as he would want to be, I don't imagine.
Yep.
77.33 puts him in 10th position for Owen Atkinson.
Well, you'd like to think that's the safe zone, but with the amount of drivers that are coming up
we
behind
don't know.
you,
There's 60 drivers.
Exactly.
So.
It's half of these guys are going to be going home.
So we have Justinas Norkus, normally puts on a bit of a show, this guy.
Absolute big lunatic. Look at that entry. Wow. Fast. Confident.
Bouncing all over the shot.
Come away from clip 4 there, a little bit too early, but scrubbing down the wall prior to that. And look at the impact, the show, the angle, smashing through clip 6.
Massive smoke show as he comes through the end of the track, but completely missing clip 8 and right all the way in the wrong part of the track, far too far into the apex there.
For anybody watching this and not understanding what drifting were, if you were to see that, you'd be like, wow, that was amazing. That's the best thing I've ever seen. But little areas there that were out of position, out of place, and that's what it's all about, is being in the right place for getting the high scores.
It did look fantastic.
It did. It had such a fast and aggressive entry, as you'd expect from Justinas Norkus as well.
You wouldn't expect anything less, would you?
No, absolutely not. One of the mental Lithuanian
And being rewarded very well for it.
Absolutely.
90.33.
Yep. And you can see why. Obviously, it's full commitment towards the clip 1 and so fast as well. Chrissy Nayland
up
next on the line,
yeah. 2JZ E92.
Very, very good looking car, this, well turned out, good chassis. Just a little bit tentative on the initiation there, but nice walk, but put him out of line there, Mike, on towards clip 2. Just being a little bit too aggressive on 1, putting him out of position, but great through 4 and 5. Just shedding the rear bumper there. But for me, the area where it was a little bit out of sorts was obviously on the clip 2 there as he came off the wall.
Well, I think the car didn't quite react exactly how we thought it was going to from clip 1.
As you can see on the, on the replay. Yeah, it looked like obviously as it's hit the wall, the back of the car's gripped up and it's pulled the front in.
Well, I think the mistake happened even before that, because he didn't actually go. The flick didn't really happen. It was more of just a change of direction, which is a weight transfer, but not the big flick that would start the back end swinging out. So I think when that happened, he then reinitiated, but by that time he was too close to the wall, hit the wall, and then that's when the problem started arising from then on.
Yep, managed to keep the rest of the run together, and yeah, a good score, but not taking anything away from it, but obviously again another driver that's got a little bit to think about in terms of areas of improvement.
Yeah, and these are, when we say areas of improvement, we mean these are microsecond decisions. It's
not something you're thinking about on the start line. It's what happens when you initiate, and then obviously as the car flicks in and how it's going to react.
So we've got Jack Mowini here.
Yeah, Jack Mowini, Irish driver.
E46 S54.
Yep, carrying all the speed there, using the weight transfer, and a really, really solid line for this driver. Jack using all the power this car's got, not a big horsepower vehicle, but not using the handbrake on initiation, carrying the speed, nice fluid line. That is a very, very solid run.
Yeah, I think he's going to be rewarded well for that. As you say, very fluid, and you can hear the note of the engine just gradually increase as you go around the corners, so you know that he's got that dialed.
Flicks it
nicely.
In, not using the handbrake, carrying all the speed, really, really fast there, and then just lets the car run out. As you see, he's off the hydro, the wheels are turning, runs the car lovely out on clip 4 there as he comes round. It wouldn't surprise me if this is really, and what did I say, a 93-point run there, putting Jack Mowini in first place. The judges rewarding that and liking it as well, and really wringing the neck off that BMW, but keeping it nice and smooth and getting on the clips. Yeah,
really nice to see exactly what the judges want to see, which is a very chaseable run. So up next we have David Mattel in E36 with a 1JZ engine in it, and a nice big entry flick there.
Yep, you can see
and
the
very nice through clip 2 as well. But a bit of a straighten and a wobble from clip 3 to clip 4, which put him on a little bit of a wrong line, and another straighten.
Yep, comes off of clip 4 there, just trying to slow the car down so it doesn't fall off the edge of the track and almost coming to a stop, and then having to reinitiate and start again. Very, very scrappy run there for Dave. But
yeah, not really being able to piece it together, having flashes of brilliance coupled together with some straightens. So I'm sure the judges are going to like that. Let's have a look, a little bit of a replay. As he comes through clip 2, it's on quite a nice line and then straightens up. And we see as he comes round the last clip, another straighten there before he reinitiates for the last corner. So just struggling a little bit with grip and power, and the judges not rewarding him with a 54.67, puts him in 24th place.
Right, another driver that we've been keeping an eye on is Damien Choppen, swapped out of his BMW into this S-body and really coming to grips with it and showing absolute commitment.
Wow, that's a fantastic entry. Nice, very smooth flick.
Look at the speed as well, Mike.
Really good in practice. So he said if he could do what he did in practice in qualifying, he'll do well, and he is doing just that right now. But yeah, he's really getting on with this S-body.
Carrying all the speed there from the first part of the track right out towards 4, and then a lovely finish through the hairpins there and out towards track.
I think this is going to be another really high-scoring run. That was brilliant.
I think I can hear the judges in the crowd there clapping as Damien Choppen just letting the car wash out, running beautifully out towards clip 4 and along the wall. Carrying a little bit more speed, a little bit more impact than Jack, so maybe this is going to slightly edge it. I don't know, but I definitely think
there was a wheel off there.
It's going to be up in the 90s, I would suspect, but we'll see as the judges' scores drop in.
And a 90.9
yep,
dead. Puts him in 4th position. He's going to be very happy with that.
You can tell.
It's almost like you've been a judge or something.
Yeah, anybody would think I've done this before.
Yeah, once or twice.
Yep. So another driver returning to BDC for this season. Not seen him for a while. Stuart Adsley.
In that 2JZ powered S14, a very vibrant car with those yellow headlights and a big flick. Wow, that was fantastic. Just skimming the edge of the spoiler on the wall. Yeah, it was fantastic to watch, and making a good job of the rest of the track as well.
Yeah, I hope Stu can piece the rest of this together, because Stu's usually quite a conserved driver who sometimes, you know, in his own head put too much pressure on himself, but looking like he's coming together with it. A little bit shy of clip 8
I think
there.
that's a bit shallow on clip 8, but
really
the rest
nice
of the
initiation, yeah, absolutely.
I think he's going to be happy with that, and the
Look
judges
at
are
this.
definitely going to be, wow, look at that. Just
Perfect.
skims it. You can't get better than that.
Nope.
That is absolutely fantastic.
And you can see
Zoom
the
in,
end
you
plates,
just see a tiny little mark on it. Fantastic.
And fair play to Stu as well.
Yeah, really
he's been
good.
out of the scene for a while and coming back in and putting a stomping run in there. And it shows you 85.6, putting Stu Adsley into 6th place. He'll be happy with that. His spot, I think, is Mark on it, or Cookie. Be on the radio telling him how he's done. So, next driver up, Dan Tyler. This is a very, very good looking car. Such a good combo, black and white wheels.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this driver until before yesterday, and went over to see who it was, and yeah, driving absolutely fantastic. Very nice in, but
speed there.
Just a little bit shy of 4, but still a fantastic run so far. Like you say, a brilliant looking car. The black and white works very well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a little bit of a retro feel to it. The big wing is very big, shall we say, which is ideal for clipping the cones off the walls. Fast run there from Dan Tyler. Let's just have a replay.
The car looks very settled throughout the run. It doesn't look like it's moving about too much. And
you can see why it is a great chassis when you can jump in it, throw a 1J in there, and away you go. Makes for a good package.
Yeah. Dan Tyler really making that work. So let's see what the judges have to say.
Every time the scores come up, you think he's 47th.
91.33. Puts him in 3rd place.
Yep, 90s now starting. Some of these drivers starting to come through. Dan will be more than happy with that. Next up, another driver we earmark for big things. We've got Danny McGuire swapping out of his 15, getting his spare car, changing the diff. Sorry, the subframe, dropping all that in. And another driver not scared to fully attack, maximum speed. Look at the aggression from Danny McGuire here as he's on the power. Slightly slowing down there as you expected in towards clip 3, but on the clipping points. Nice fluid run, plenty of aggression and impact here, Mike.
Yes, that fantastic run considering he has had no practice on this track with this car. I think he maybe got 2 runs that I saw out from there, and the runs that I did see in practice were just as good as this, so he's obviously very confident in that car, and it shows with that run. Brilliant.
Yep, used this car, not last year, but the year before was his #1 car. Was thinking of selling it, but held on to it. Obviously bought the S15, which they've had some issues with the clutch. So obviously swapping parts out into this, nipped back to Mansfield, got his spare car, was already livered up, ready to go. So yeah, good to see Danny getting a score on the board as the judges come in.
89.33 puts him in 6th position, so
Dan
the judges liking that just as much as us.
Yep, absolutely. He'll be happy with the top 10 in there, and knowing Danny, I'm sure he'll go all out on his second run. Oh, will he play it smart?
You never know.
No, you don't.
Jolene McDonald up now in a 350Z.
Yep, one of the female entrants we've got. Nice entry there from Jolene. Just weight transfer, flicked it in, carrying the speed.
Yeah, and that's very nice into clip 4 as well, and very wide. That's exactly what the judges wanted to see. Through from clips 5 to clip 6, a nice late transition.
Good line as well for
really
Jolene.
good line.
Yep.
The car sounds like it's bogging, but it doesn't look like it is. So quite a bit shallow there on clip 8. So a couple of points deducted from that, but all in all, a nice run.
Yeah, she'd be happy with that. The first initiation was very good. Just flicks it in there, and then it just comes around, runs the wall nicely, carries on the power, not using the handbrake too much at all, and just trying to keep the fluidity and the power up and the speed up. Sorry, on this car, VQ35. As we see Jolene, and rewarded 85. That'll drop her into 10th place, so Jolene will be happy with that as well. And this, I think, is a borrowed car or a loan she's got for this drive.
I have absolutely no idea.
What? Right, next
Can't
up.
help you with that
No,
one,
no,
I'm afraid.
Max Fleckney.
Now,
one of the
he had a
drivers.
huge accident in practice, and his team did absolutely fantastically to get the car out ready for him to do some practice this morning. And the car looking a little bit worse for wear. Not quite sure what it's going to do, because it didn't do what he wanted it to do the other day. But wow, and there we go, really very wide. Popped debeaded the tyre there, so that will be the end of that run. And that wheel does not look like it's pointing in the right way, unfortunately, anymore. So they're going to get that back to the pits and take a look at it. Don't try and drift that, because it's not going to go well for you, mate.
Yeah, Max had a massive off in practice yesterday and bent the chassis rail and the top of the suspension top. His team looks like the panel beated it out, tried to...
they broke everything. Yeah. It was the whole front end of the car was pushed over.
Right.
And they worked through the night to get it sorted again, and they did.
Another driver that we've earmarked who's showing signs of promise this weekend. Stuart Adsley changed.
Yeah, wow, look at that entry on. I thought that was going to be a lot better than it was. Unfortunately, a little bit far away from the wall there, but making it up through clip 4 and round that first hairpin to clip 5. That was very impressive in that in the yellow R34 there. S62 powered M5 engine in this,
and it shows as well all the torque. Stu switching from his E36 estate that he ran last season, and yeah, a very, very solid run there. As he flicks in, you can hear him there just coming down the back straight. The V8 of the M5 sounding nice, and look at that textbook as he comes down the wall.
Absolutely fantastic, looks brilliant. Just the right amount of angle, the right amount of speed, and a lovely entry there. I mean, 88.33, so the judges obviously liking that as well. I think if he had just got a little bit closer to the wall on that initiation, that could have been one of the highest point runs.
Yep, I totally agree. So Danny Wyman on the start line, PS13. Well, I say stock engine, it's the original engine. SR20.
Yep.
You would not want to be clipping these lights off this wall.
No, they are genuine, and he gets very close to doing so as it comes through clip 2 and clip 3 very nicely, and again some nice angle through clip 4 there. Really starting to see the drivers sort of take note and get to these areas that the judges are looking for. And this is a very tidy one so far by Danny Wyman.
Yep, on the clips, but slightly shallow on a couple towards the second half. But still a nice run there.
It was nice, fluid and smooth.
And you'd be more than comfortable chasing that as a chase driver, because ultimately these guys are obviously wanting to get into battles, and it's also making sure that you can do a run that is battleable, so you can give every opportunity to chase driver as well.
Well, that is the point of qualifying here, is to assess whether you can make the line, and an 84 Danny Wyman. And the reason it's important to make the line, because in the battles you need to be able to chase someone, so if your line is not chaseable, you're not going to do very well in qualifying.
No, and we all want to get to the big show.
Everyone
so next up, JJ Stevens. Yep, wow, fast entry there. This car flying a little bit off clip 1 there, but very, very fast as he comes through the second half of the track. Just sacrificing clip 4 there as he's come away from the wall.
Big over rotation there through clip 5, losing a lot of pace through the second half of the track. And this is putting him on the wrong line through clip 6, hits clip 7 and drives through clip 8 and just makes it around the rest of the track. But yeah, few errors there from JJ Stevens.
Yeah, gets a big over rotate, comes not pushed out wide enough.
There's a lot of pace there. I think that maybe caught him off guard quite how fast he came into there, and then over rotated around the corner. Let's see what the judges have to say. JJ Stevens 67 puts him in 29th position. So still in the top 32 just for now.
Get another BMW up onto the line. We have got Craig Barber.
Yeah, one you said turbo E36. Yep.
Another driver who committed. Yes, nice entry there, fast from Craig. Running out towards 1 and very, very good out towards 4. Just dialing the angle in there. Looked like he got in with a little bit too much pace, Mike, as he come through the clip 4.
Yeah, slightly too much pace. He just puts him on the wrong line there. And making up for the rest of the track, you can hear that one you said bouncing off the limiter. as he just cuts in through clip 8 a little bit too shallow, too close to the apex. Again, a lot of drivers seem to be doing that at the minute, but most of the track looking reasonably fluid.
You can chase that. It's just obviously he's not got much, I would say, impact in terms of the speed, but I'm sure Craig will get a solid run on the board there as the judges' scores drop in a minute.
74.33 puts him into 25th position. So he's going to want to do a little bit better than that to ensure him a place in the top 32 later on. But I don't know, he might stay in there. But with all these drivers,
Tom Van Beek, another guy who shone for us last year, really good line driver. Look at the speed.
Wow, look at that.
That is a beautiful entry.
Beautiful thing to see. Yeah, a little bit of the brakes, but wow, really deep into 4 as well. Very close to the wall there. I think he clipped that. Lots of popping and banging going from that engine, but seems to be still making it work as he comes through clip 7 and clip 8, still on a really nice line. And these MX-5s are very hard to pedal, but it seems to be doing really well with it. Yeah,
Tom's been a great line driver all last year.
The track over the end.
It looks like he just carries so much speed. Just flick entry.
Yeah, this entry,
weight transfer right across the track and there, and over clip 1 carries all the speed. Just having to use the foot brake there in towards 4. So, because obviously he's gone so fast.
Yeah.
Nice out on the outer clips 5 towards 6. That was a very good run.
Yeah, very nice run there from Tom Van Beek. And let's see how well he did. And the judge 90.67.
That's going to drop him into the top 10 or even the top 5. 4th place for Tom Van Beek. Wow. And fair play.
Yeah.
That little MX-5 absolutely flying.
I believe that is everyone's first run. So we're on to run 2 for Josh Moore. He currently has 86 points. Sponsors are 7 Days Performance, Hotwood Motorsport, Jay's Garage Motorsport, Colgate Norfolk, LB Restoration, and Paint Signs FX Zestino tyres, I assume.
Big flick again. Oh, beautiful on the wall there. Just sacrifice clip 2 and having to try and extend the the drift, and just hangs on the handbrake way too long, almost coming to a stop.
Yeah, and just now having a whole host of problems coming after that as he makes up a reasonable second half of the track.
Great initiation was on it, but then obviously floundered out towards clip 4, just sat on the hydro too long, almost come to a stop. So a scrappy second half, as you see. Big flick, just catches the wall perfect. Watch this, Mike. Boom.
Yeah, that's it. That's absolutely lovely. So let's just see what happens here. Do we get another replay?
No.
Can we see a bit of him coming into clip 4 again, please?
Looks like he just sits on the hydro and extends the drift too far out towards 4 and scrubs the speed. So Josh Moore with 86.33 on his first run. Don't think it was going to be any better than that. 70.33, leaving him in 9th place, but you'd like to think that Josh is in the show with that. I think he's pretty safe.
I'd like to hope so, but anything can happen. There's another 59 drivers to go. So,
Alric Ludnick
is what?
This is, I think we might be out of position slightly here.
I'm not sure.
This looks like Rich Gilby to me.
Yeah.
So cross wires there, but
Richie Gilby obviously having some big problems with his car. He's obviously got the car up and running and fixed and back in action.
Yeah, I did see on some of his social media posts that, like I was saying earlier, had issues with the drive shaft and maybe a diff. So that will have obviously took him out of some of the practice that they had earlier in the day. But Rich being able to again get around the track.
So hybrid built JZ, a GTX 3076R Gen 2.
So all these numbers that Mike's throwing out there, that's the turbo he's talking about, which is for all you wily-eared listeners.
Could get into it. I was just going to read the some of the
spec
light
list.
specs for people that are interested in the technical parts of it. You can explain the technical part if you like.
No, you're way better than me at that, pal. So I'll
that's just the size of the turbo.
Yep.
Basically.
So Rich Gilby there getting a 72.23 on the board from having a 0 on his first run, so he'll be happy with that. Currently sitting in at 27th place, so close to the dropout zone if some of these drivers do manage to push further up from their previous positions, but we'll see how it pans out. So Arik Ludnick on the start line in the Sora. 1JZ can sometimes be a bit crazy, this guy.
Yeah,
flicks it in way off clip 1. Yeah, close on the inside of the track on 2. Very fast.
Wow,
on 4.
very deep onto from clip 4 to 5. That was almost an over rotation, but managed to hold it together as he tries to piece together the rest of the track, but all over the place, Marek.
Yeah, way out of position there on that final corner, and then running really high up the bank, trying to get the car to spool up and keep drifting. So very, very scrappy there.
Yeah, just having a lot of problems with the car. Obviously, just not gelling with it, with the track, with the car and the driving this weekend, and having a few issues. Let's see how the judges score that. Having a good think about it. 49 points puts him in 39th position.
So yeah, as you can see there, his best run, not getting enough points on the board to get him into the show.
Unfortunately, that is the end of his day. Okay.
Wow, what a fast entry
that's
there.
A massive entry. As he comes through clip 2 and 3, this is very exciting, but missing clip 4 by quite some measure as well, which then puts him onto the wrong line from clip 5. Slightly off of clip 6, but nice and deep into clip 7, and look at the smoke show off of that coming through the last corner.
Arunas Narontas in this S54 M3 turboed E46, very, very fast, but yeah, I think he's maybe carried too much speed there, which has got him out of position towards clip 4. He's gone too wide out onto clips 5 and 6, but massive, massive impact and smoke show from this car. Very, very good looking BMW, but whether or not it's enough to get him
it's very sparkly, that car.
It is very sparkly. So run
70.33 on run 1, 71.33.
Run 2.
Leaves him in 28th position. That is very close to the relegation zone.
Right, next driver up on the line, Christian Rice in his Nissan 350Z on the line.
Yeah, we had an 82.67 on his first run. A very nice, solid run. Can he push it even harder? Not very close on clip 1. But nice through clip 2 there. It was interestingly. So, a very wide, fast clip 4. I thought it was coming off the track there, but managed to hold it all together. And this is looking like another very nice run.
Yep, very solid. He's currently in 15th position. Whether or not he can just edge up on that 82.6 from his first run. Just wringing the neck on that 350 there.
Yeah, they sound like they're not revving very high, but they actually are. It's just the tone of the engine. Nice and deep into clip 4, yeah.
Yep, carrying all the speed there. Like we're saying, it's all down to that first initiation. If a driver's got carries enough speed through there, it makes the second half of the track much, much easier. So as the scores come in for Christian Rice. So yeah,
run 2.
Yep, so
8.33. So
stays in 15th position. His first run, the judges there, slightly stronger as we move on to Ben Parry. Sat on the start line in this E36 M50 Turbo. See if Ben can get a much better score on the board. He's currently in 34, so just out the drop zone. Fast.
And this is looking good so far. Nice big flick entry, and very nicely onto clip 2 and clip 3, and very early on the wall as well. If he can hold this, absolutely fantastic. This is looking like a much better run from Ben Parry as he makes his way through the rest of the track. A little bit of a...
Oh, what a shame. Just shutting it down there. Whether that was a missed gear or a boost hose popped off, I don't know. But yeah, it looks like the car's lost all power. That was shaping up, Mike, to be a very, very good run.
That was looking absolutely fantastic until he shut it down there. I wonder what happened. It was almost like he was on the handbrake. Either I thought it was a weird place to be on the handbrake, but maybe it wasn't on the handbrake. Maybe something locked up on the engine, or I don't know. I can't hear it from here.
Gloves are off. It looks like we're going to be
Looks like
calling the recovery. Yeah, unfortunately. So unfortunate end for Ben Parry there, just staying out of the top 32 zone with a 56.67. So looks like he's managed to get it started. Just see if we can limp the car off track. Yep.
That's such a shame. That was shaping up to be a really good lap.
It absolutely sucks when you're in that position and you know that you're on for a good lap. And I don't know, you miss shift, you do the old 3rd to 5th.
Yep. Been there. Slowly creeping around the rest of the track. He's opening his windows though. He's going for a lovely Sunday cruise in it.
Yep. Weather's nice, you know, just have a drive to the coast, get some fish and chips. Anyway, next up we've got the blue Smurf.
Drift Smurf.
The Drift Smurf with his blue hair.
Very excited as usual.
It's always very tentative time sat on the start line. The adrenaline's going. You're eager to get your run started.
Yeah, and it's when you're sat there as well, and you've just warmed your tyres up. Like I was saying earlier about the timings, getting everything timed exactly right, and then the car in front of you has a problem and stops. And you're sat there, you're like, do I re-warm my tyres up? What do I do? Do I think about it? Do I not overthink about it? Do I just not worry about it? It's just it's a stressful situation.
It is, Mike. It is. There's nothing worse. You just sat waiting, not knowing what's going to be happening, how long before you've got to go. So, Matt Holder there.
Gives the thumbs up and away he goes.
Yep, 1UZ V8 in this little compact. Open for a big thing, sat outside the drop zone.
Oh, wow, that was fantastic. Yeah, lovely entry. Wow, and through clip 2 and clip 3 as well. A bit of a reinitiation, though. Oh, over rotation.
Managed to keep it going, though, yep. But maybe the judges will reward the first half there. Yep, big error on 4, but maximum commitment and attack there from Matt Holder, knowing that he was outside the drop zone, having to put something together here, and hopefully it's enough. I think he just carried too much speed there in towards clip 4, Mike, and having to try and scrub some of it off. And
I think the car didn't quite react how he thought it was going to. He thought it was going to have a bit more angle coming onto the wall, so he had to reinitiate almost with the handbrake, I think I saw, and then obviously too much speed and over-rotated. So be onto the wall a little bit late, I think, there.
I really did like his initiation, though, on towards clip 1. And we'll see what the judges say as
a slightly better score with a 69.
Puts him in 31st, not where you want to be.
Very close.
Very close indeed. So, next driver up we're going to have, I think it's Stephen McConnell. Yep.
Stephen McConnell in that lovely yellow S13 with a 2J in. 92.67 puts him in second place currently. Can he beat that? And that entry looks very smooth indeed.
The pressure's off for Steve now, but he knows that he can.
He's having fun now.
Yep.
And the smoke show showing that for sure.
That sounds so good.
I was just listening to it for a second. I just didn't want to talk. I just wanted to hear it pull away down Power Alley, as we call it.
Yep, sounded perfect there. That 2J just on song. It's very strange, isn't it? It's from a driver's perspective or spectators. You can tell what the engine is from the engine, the notes and the sound, and
yeah, it's years of experience of hearing,
listening
of listening to engines doing the things you don't want them to do.
Yep, and not scoring as high at 85.33, keeping Stephen in second place with his first run, but he'll be happy with that. The confidence will be up, and that'll carry him well into battles later this afternoon.
Indeed. So up next, Igis Minelga.
Yep, it looks like he might have changed cars for this season. Then I think this
is his now current car, is it, in the R33? Very vibrant coloured 33, but a nice line there, very nice initiation.
Yeah,
and very nicely onto clip 4 as well. Wow, this is shaping up to be a fantastic lap by Igis. Slightly shallow onto clip 5 there, but very nice and smooth. Not what I saw in practice at all.
No, is this a different driver? Like the first half of that run was was on it. Really good on clips 1 through to 4, but just a little bit shallow there on 5
He didn't
and
have
6.
a bad score of 82 points to start off with, but I think this is going to improve on it still.
Yeah,
that's really nice through there.
Yep, carrying plenty of speed again through there. Just makes it so much easier than you having to fight the car to try and push the car further out. So scores dropping in from the judges on Igis Minelga. Currently sat in 16th place with an 82. And yet, I think we're going to see...
We are going to see a... Maybe.
Are we going to see it? Okay. It just flashed up on our screens quickly there. I think we might have a... an upset in the apple cart here. Egis Minelga first... Yeah. Egis Minelga first place with a 94 run there.
Wow.
Told you. We said it was going to be a good run.
That looks really good.
So, as you can see, we've got Matt Smith up on the line. Currently outside the top 32 in 38th position with 53. So the pressure's on. He knows he's got to perform. But just going back to that, what a fantastic run from Egis Minelga in the skyline there.
They're absolutely fantastic. I mean, he was sort of middle of the pack in his 300 ZX, and then obviously jumping into that skyline has really done it well because, wow, 94 points.
Yep, absolutely, all the speed. So Matt Smith there flicking it in, carrying the speed there, not using the handbrake, manages to be on the inside of clip 2 there, but just extending out towards 4. Could have been a little bit further, but keeping a run together. Knows he needs to get into the top 32. So hopefully we can, as you can hear, that little M3 flat out of there,
wringing the neck out of that M3. It was slightly shallow on clip 8, but quite a smooth run. You see him all on the brakes to get in there and doesn't quite get out to the wall. Just has to make the turn before he gets right into clip 4. But other than that, reasonably smooth. Let's see if it is enough. Oh,
yep, so that's the previous run from Egis Minelga and Matt Smith, yes.
75.67.
And that pops him into 22nd place, so making it into the top 32 with that run, so fair play to him getting back in. So next we've got Will Gibbs. Another one of last year's drivers, I do believe. In a very sparkly E36 JZM3, so yeah, it's got a Toyota engine in there by the looks of things. All the powers, like you were saying, a good mechanical chassis in terms of grip is the E36. Nice flick there. Can he carry the speed through? Oh, massive lock and a big wobble there. Whether or not the judges are going to see that as a hindrance if you were a chase car, but getting well out of sorts and out of shape.
It was very much offline there, and it's put him offline for the rest of the track, really. Not been deep enough in any of the other clips.
Yep, too much angle there, causing him to dial on more lock and pulling away from clips 5 and 6. So we'll see what the judges think of that. Will Gibbs there not producing one of the better runs that we've seen him do.
No, definitely not. Yeah, as he's very wide on that clip too. Just messed him up for the rest of the track, which is what the judges were saying. You need to nail that entry, nail clip 2, and then once you've done that, so the rest of the track will almost flow for you. But if you get that first bit wrong, the rest of it's just going to fall apart.
So Matt Smith, their previous run there, just showing that he's in 22nd as we get the scores up to speed. Another BMW compact sat on the line.
Yep. Red.
Still with another
like a red
on
car.
As well.
I like a red car.
If it's
that downturn exhaust almost touching the ground as he leaves the line. Very shallow on clip 2 there after a bit of a weak entry, if I'm completely honest with you. And then quite shallow onto clip 2, but making out to clip 4 quite nicely, and the rest of the track seems to be coming together reasonably well, wide on 7.
Yep, Jamie Lundley currently sat in 41st position with a 47.33, so everything to play for. Not sure if he's going to have done enough there, Mike, to get him up into the top 32, but we'll see. As he initiates on 1 there, you can see he's very on the inside of clip 2 there, pretty much drove over it.
Yeah, just didn't seem to quite have it together. It doesn't look like there's very much pressure in the rear tyres of that, isn't that? Or he's got extremely low profile tyres on the back of that. But 68, which is an improvement on his first run, puts him into
just outside
34th place. So unfortunately, that is the end of play for Jamie Lundley. Wow, is this car back out?
This car is back
wow.
out. This car
I did not expect to see that car running up. That car had a massive accident at the end of practice, at the very end of practice, and obviously still having some problems with that car, with setting it back up again. I honestly can't even believe I'm looking at that car, because I went over to see the damage on it, and it was incredibly extensive.
Yep, they ripped the front wheel off this in practice. Caused massive amounts of damage to the inside of that, so it looks like the suspension's probably taken a battering and everything's well misaligned. They've probably lined it up by eye just to be able to try and get back out on track and get a score on the ball, but unfortunately not being able to.
Yeah, just doesn't look like they could get it quite back to a good enough state to be able to control it properly, and unfortunately that is the end of his day. But I thought his day had ended a lot earlier than that, so at least he got a qualifying run in, attempt at a qualifying run anyway. So
Ventsislav Georgiev in the
good effort.
Yep, fair play to his team as well, being able to get that thing back together.
See, we've got Mars Moore.
Yep, E46 Compacts running the M3 engine. Carrying all the speeds. Oh, lovely along that wall, just off it, didn't clip it, didn't sacrifice any speed, and fast down onto 4.
Wow, that was really nice through 4.
This doesn't have the smoke and the impact, but definitely got the line, very, very fluid.
Yeah, it's a very chaseable line there from Moore. Just going through the last end of the track, it's exactly on the line, just a little bit shallow into 8. Quite a lot of drivers finding it difficult to get out to 8 at the minute, but yeah, a very smooth track, definitely chaseable.
Watch this as he initiates there. Just watch the back, just
millimeters off.
Perfect. Not even having to touch the paintwork in.
Yeah.
Yep, he'd be very, very happy with that as well. As you can see, it's such a good line. And I think, like you were saying, Mike, as he's coming off the second hairpin and just sacrificing clip 8, that'll be down to the lower power that he's running on this car, not being able to push out as wide. Yeah. But yeah, what a fantastic run. 85.67, jumping miles up into 11th place, so an extra 10 points up on his first run.
Fantastic, he'll definitely be happy with that. Up next we have Aiden Dowd.
Another driver making the
S14.
The trip over from Ireland to do. Yep. No, we've got
Fionn Roche in RB25 powered S14.
Yep, didn't get a run in.
Didn't get the first run. Suko's coming in for the second run, and making a big impact on the second run as well. Wow, look at the smoke that's coming off the back of that car.
Carried lots of speed there through the first half of the track, and considering that this is the only qualifying run he's got, definitely putting the show on there for the judges, giving something to think about.
Yeah. A lot of gearbox noise, a lot of gear noise coming from that car.
Yes. Sounds very, well, you'd say sequential.
Yeah, very straight cut gears. Yeah, so a really nice run there from Fionn Roche. Let's see how many points the judges award him. 76 points puts him in 23rd position.
Yep, from a driver not getting a first run to taking 23rd, you would be more than happy with that going into battles. So, next up, Niall Gerety. Saw a beautiful wall rub with this car earlier. Really, really good into the first initiation. So let's see what we can do. Nice flick.
Oh, a little bit shy on the wall this time.
Not as close as last time, but still carrying plenty of pace and a very chaseable line. I don't think him, looking at it has put a wheel wrong, really, to be fair, just like we're saying, a little bit shy.
Like very nice into clip 4 there, and held it long and nice and around the outside of that second hairpin, which, as we can see, is very tricky to do, but he's pedaling the nuts off of that car. You can hear it right up in the rev range.
Just flicks it in, but like we were saying, using the weight transfer rather than the handbrake on these lower power cars is key, because as soon as you pull on the handbrake, you lock the rear wheels and initiate the car, the revs drop off, but you lose the speed.
And you've got to re-spin the wheels back up again. So
easier done for the turbo cars with the bigger horsepower, but yep, another great score for Niall Gerety, improving. No, not 85 on his first run, staying in 14th place, so an 83.33 there for his second run.
Very, very close, but yeah, not quite an improvement.
Super consistent, and that's
what you want to see.
That's a good place to be in. Ryan Hughes next up, sat on the start line.
In that DY Engines S14. Another guy that's had a massive accident this weekend so far, but can we put it back? He's got 76 points on the board so far. Can he improve? This looks like a very safe run to me.
Yep.
And nicely round into on the C line on those clipping zones there, and very nicely through 8 as well. This is a
strong,
nice. It's very well sewn together. I was trying to get the words there. It's yeah, put together very nicely this lap. Not really anything massively wrong. Safe, I would go with it.
Yep, and this engine sounds amazing as well. 2.3 SR.
Yeah.
Built by Dave Yandel. Yep, sounding absolutely crisp as. And an
does.
improvement.
85.67 puts
up
him
to 11th place.
He's definitely going to be happy with that.
Especially after having a slight incident and a crash earlier in the in practice. So next driver up on the start line, part of the Justin Norcus crew, Paulius Senekis, in this E46 M3. Turbocharged as well, yeah, so all the powers. Hopefully he can carry the speed through to make it easier.
A couple of mistakes in his first run, leaving him with a 61-point run. Can he improve? Still a little bit shallow off of the clips there, but
missed clip 4 massively, which put him out of place onto clip 5, Mike.
But nothing particularly wobbly though. So smoothness is also what the judges are marking very highly on this track. So I think he might pull a better score than a 61 on that one.
As you can see, he's on the handbrake, but miles away there, middle of the track, misses 4 completely. Spins the wheels back up as he's coming around the second.
So he needs to beat 69.33 to get him into the top 32. A 71.
Wow, so that's going to be 30. Yeah,
just puts him in there.
Just inside the drop zone.
And
Nick Davey from Ireland. Yep.
S14.
Currently sat in 26th position with a 75. Fast entry, but
a lot of the handbrake there, which leaves him a little bit shallow on clip 2, and then very shallow for clip 4. Really completely in the wrong part of the circuit.
Yep, that's where your chase driver would be. So not a line that you would be able to follow as a chase driver.
And straighten and
a wheel off track. I don't think Nick is gonna.
It's not going to be an improvement.
No, not on his first score of 75.3. I reckon he's probably going to stay in 26th position with that, but you never know. We will see. As you can see, they're way out of position on towards clip 4, being on the inside of the track. And again, just putting him in the complete wrong position.
Yeah, just miles out there, unfortunately, and this is reflected in the score, 47.67. So he remains in 26th position with his first run. No improvement. And we have Josh Holdsworth.
Didn't take his first run, Josh, so not sure if he's got issues with this car. I know these guys have put a mammoth effort in. If you follow these guys on Drift Games, Josh, only in his second competitive drift event, was one of the staff in the BDC days that did all the edits, and very, very good videographer. Him and Dave have switched into becoming, well, not so much Dave, but Josh being into becoming pro drivers and having a lot of issues with the MX-5 they built in the off-season, having to use his spare car, which he used to drive this car to and from BDC events as the photographer.
Yeah, as the photographer, and even yesterday in his after the event yesterday, he was still editing videos.
Yep, the joys of the internet vlogger, shall we say. But yeah, if you follow these guys on Drift Games, Josh and Dave and all the Irish guys and Wayne Curran and all them putting massive, massive effort into beer this weekend, and fair play as well. We'll be seeing Dave driving tomorrow in a very well turned out Corvette. So a score for Josh, a 41.67, putting him into 44th position. Not enough, but you know, hopefully we'll see him back at round 2 with his NC built MX-5. So the next driver we're going to get out onto track is Don Burke.
Don Burke in a 328 E36, not having a very good time on his first run, but can he make a bit more of an impact on his second run? Looks like the runner started off at a reasonable pace, but just doesn't seem to have the legs in that car.
No, absolutely not. It's being around, what, 210 horsepower, 220,
yeah,
if that.
Yeah, and just really struggling to get it off. And you can see there, going onto those marbles and having absolutely no grip whatsoever, and then coming off to loads of grip, it just throws you all over the place.
Yep.
So,
hot potato steering wheel.
Yeah, lots of flapping. I imagine if it had indicators, they would be on.
Or the wipers. We have all done the wipers and the indicator. You
of
know,
course,
you know you're struggling when the wipers and the indicators come on. And that's quite, you know, it doesn't happen a lot for BMW drivers apparently.
No, that's probably the only time the indicators do come on. So, 36 points in that run. An improvement on his first run, but not good enough, unfortunately, to get him into the top 32 at the end of his ejection. So next up we have David Jackson.
Kiwi Jackson, as he's known on social medias. Lives in the UK from New Zealand with his SR-powered PS13. Very good-looking car. Oh, nice on the wall there, just running against it. And didn't hit the bumper, carrying the speed. Hopefully he can get out towards 4, but a little bit shallow there, Mike, as he's coming to the second hairpin.
Yeah, very shallow on 4, which puts him in the wrong position to get out to 5 as well. Did go through 5, but almost at the wrong angle, so just cleaning up the rest of this run here from clip 7 to clip 8. Very nice on the bank there at the end of that run, but I fear too many mistakes early on.
I quite like this entry. Look at that, though.
Wow, that is actually fantastic.
That is on point, on the money. Like we're saying, just a few little mistakes as he's come on towards clip 4. Hopefully he can progress from his previous score of a 68.3, which he's currently sat in 35th. So he just needs to, I think he needs to get up into the low 70s to get him into the top 32. And the score coming in for David Kiwi Jackson, as we wait, a 76.67, getting him into 23rd place. We were waiting for it. I thought he was there with the 76. I didn't want to jump too soon, and fair play to David with that. Some
we have Craig McLeod.
Yep, some vent scoops on the back of this. This guy impressed you earlier as well.
Yeah,
really good driver.
And like, the car just looks fantastic on the track as well.
Yep, well set up, well settled, carrying plenty of speed. A little bit shallow on 1 though, Mike, but all the speeds into 4. Really, nearly running out of track there, but
yeah, nice position through the first part of the track. A little bit shallow on 1, but two through 3 and 4 were lovely, and the rest of the track seems to be coming together quite nicely for him as well. So comes around the last corner and puts the hammer down. Pouring tyre smoke, screaming away.
Sounds like a V8 in that. Just have a quick look. We're not sure. There's no details.
There's no details.
But yeah, it's a very smooth run through there, carrying plenty of speed. So hopefully he'll be rewarded with that in the judges' scores. Currently sat in 9th, but again,
an improvement.
Yep, an 88.67. So that's going to jump him up. I would have thought. We're not seeing it. So within the top 10.
Yeah. I think that still keeps him in 9th position. Anyway, up next, Colt Harvey, currently sitting on 69 points. Can he make an improvement from there? Setting in 34th position now, and a big straight and through from clips 2 to clip 3, putting completely off the line for clip 4 as well, and clip 5. So a little bit of a shaky run there. It's a fantastic looking car, but the driving not really where it needs to be, unfortunately.
Right, so we're just getting a bit of feedback as well from our pit reporter, Michelle, that he's having some difficulty with the power steering. I think the power steering might have failed on it, which is not an ideal position you want to be in when, you know, you're hoping for the car to self-centre and the steering to come back.
Absolutely not.
So he'll be fighting that quite heavily in the cockpit there.
Yeah, that'll be an extremely difficult car to drive without the power steering, especially if it's got the rest of the power steering system still on it, because that fights against you if it doesn't work. So making it very difficult. And you've obviously got a steering angle kit as well, which extends the width and the track of the car. So an improvement of 71.33 right on. 32nd position.
So depending how this pans out, his crew are going to probably be racing to get that power steering fixed if he can stay within the top 32. Next drive up, Paul Parnell sat in 41st with a 53-point run.
1JZ in this little E46 compact.
Big flick, just managing to get back towards clip 1, carrying the speed, because he's obviously got the turbo powers.
Yeah, just a little bit too far into the curb on clip 1, which puts him on the wrong line for clip 4 and 5 again.
Yeah, clip 4, he had looks like it was nearly an over rotation, and then just stamps on the gas to push out towards the back end of the circuit there.
Yeah, that's right. So again, shallow on clip 8 as he completes the run over the line.
I think this might be an improvement on his first score, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to get him into the show later on in 32nd position.
I mean, the run is fairly chaseable, but there's just too many mistakes in there, I think.
But also you've got a
60.
You've got a grid of 32 drivers who are all equally pushing as hard, and as you can see there, an improvement on his scoring with 68.67, but staying in 36 outside the drop zone.
Well, we've got a car that's stalled in the middle of the donut pen.
I wonder if he's left the battery's flat, or if it's just the starter motor. Who knows?
Or he stalled it. It's brighten up. Oh, bump start. Does that seem to work?
Love a good bump start.
Maybe not.
So we will move up our next driver.
Yeah, this absolutely intense E30.
Do you see the exhaust out the bonnet there?
It's still not that loud, though.
No.
I thought it was going to be mega loud when I saw it, and it actually isn't too bad. Turbo taking out quite a lot of that.
Feodorovs, it's currently another driver outside the top 32, so he's in 34th position with a 70 points. So everything to
yeah, just a few big mistakes on that first run left him lacking, but everything to play for now.
Yep.
Can he improve?
Big V8,
nice big flick again, like the first time.
Yep, lovely. Carrying the speed there. Hopefully he's not going to fall off the track.
Deep into 4 as well. Very nice line so far.
Fluid as well, and a nice impact with this. Good looking car, sounds nice, plenty of smoke. Just what the judges are looking for as well.
Yeah, if he can hold it together, this is going to be much better.
Nice out towards the last clip there, Mike.
I think he's going to be happy with this run.
Yep, absolutely.
A definite improvement on his first run.
Yep, I would have said so. This, I think, is going to be shaping up to be in the top 32, but who knows? We will have to wait and see. As you see the replay there, a very, very good line as he's come through the second part of the track. Very chaseable as well, unless you're too close and all the smoke is averting your... And as we say, an 87.33 for Petrus, popping him into 11th place.
So you need to score at least a 72 point run to even get into the top 32 of Pro-Am.
Yep, and that is the level.
Pro 2, sorry.
Yeah, Pro 2. And that is the level of driving here at BDC for round
fantastic.
1 at Teesside. Very, very fast entry there from Damien Choppen. Irish driver currently in the 21st position with a 79.
Yeah, just off that wall a little bit as well from 4, just meeting it a little bit early and then coming away in a very snappy transition. If you can hold that together, which I don't think you can, that SR20, unfortunately bogging down there after that over-rotation, just can't get the wheels spinning up enough. Lots of clutch kicks around the last corner as well to make up for it, but I fear too little too late, I'm afraid.
Yep, I don't think he's going to...
Yes, there's a lot of rotation there as well.
Still in the show though, currently in 21st position, so possibly not improving on his first score.
He's having to use a lot of that angle kit just to keep himself on the track, isn't he? So run 260 point stays in the same position with his first run, 21st position. Next up we have George Buckley, 75 points on his first run. Can he make an improvement? He definitely looks like he wants to. It's a very aggressive start. But not quite the initiation I was hoping for after that flick, I'm afraid. Bit of a handbrake drag there just before the wall.
Yep, coming through the second half of the track, just staying on the line, but I think with the missing in clip 1 and pulling on the handbrake towards clip 4. We'll see what the judges say, but still within the top 32 in 27th position. Be good for George's confidence as well after having that massive off earlier and damaging the front of the car. So hopefully it's all as straight as it can be as we see the judges' results drop in.
Yeah, I see what it says. George Buckley's been invited to take part in the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and he's taken his S13 drift car up there.
Yeah, a 69.33 from George, so not progressing any further from 27th, so hopefully he can... Oh, sorry, 20...
Yeah, 26th position.
26.
With his first run, which was 75.66. Next up, Axel Hindebrand. The RB25 powered S14. I happen to think it's the best sounding S14, but I'm biased.
Obviously. All the angle there, carrying lots of speed into the first hairpin from clip 4.
Yeah, it didn't seem to mess him up that badly, although the camera did change angle just as I was looking at that. But yeah, lots of angle being thrown on there, which is not the easiest thing to chase in the world. So I'm not sure he's going to beat his original point there, his original score, and quite close on the inside, just cutting that curb just before clip 2 as well.
Yeah, currently sat in 16th position, so he knows he's in the show, so everything is in his favour moving forward. But again, we'll see. Yeah, within 83.67, so not progressing any further than 16th position, but Axel will be happy with that anyway.
Still two quite consistent runs there, so I mean that's something you do want to have out of a driver. Similar scores, run to run.
Josh Payne in a borrowed car, courtesy of his teammate Adam Simmons with the new Rimax Oils team for 2021.
Yeah, only 44 points on the score. He's going to have to put a lot of effort in and really pedal that car to get it round the track, and you can see he's really trying to put the effort in, and
yeah,
unfortunately it just doesn't have the legs to get out to that clipping point.
Yeah,
struggles a little bit around this track.
Could do with another 200 horsepower.
Yeah, I mean he's on the shorter parts of the track. He's really on the line, so you can see that he's just really struggling with not having the power and the legs in the car.
To be fair to Josh as well, he's a very, very competent driver. If he'd have been in his own car, I'd have no doubt at all he'd have been well within the top 32 and battling for positions. But unfortunately, due to car errors and engine problems, spinning a shell on the dyno and trying to get his car maps ready for round 1. Then went out and bought a new engine, a V8 supercharged. So
a slight improvement, 55, but not enough to keep him in the competition, I'm afraid.
No, Josh will be supporting his two teammates this weekend, Ian Biz Phillips and Adam Simmons, helping those guys out. As next up onto the line, this is going to be Mark Chapman. Yep. Not sure if Mark took his first run or not earlier.
No, he didn't take his first run.
No, obviously quite distinctive E30 estate, running a M50 turbo. Another driver, super aggressive, very, very fast. Whether or not he's had issues with this car, just trying to get a score on the board, see if he can get himself into the big show later today. Big angle there as well.
Sounded very lively, that car as well. It's very heavy on the clutch as it comes through as a big estate car. It's quite a bit shallow off of 6 and a little bit wavy around the last corner, but the rest of the track looking reasonably smooth.
Like we were saying earlier, needing to get a 72 or above to get him up into the 71.33 to get him into the top 32. So we'll see what the judges make of this. As the scores come in for Mark. Unfortunately, not enough. Currently in 41st position with a 55.3. I used to have one of these in E30 Estate.
Did you?
In my first drift car, yeah. Kindly.
Where's it now?
Scrapyard.
Yeah.
Owen Atkinson there in the 1UZ RX8.
Yeah, 77.33 on his first run. Can he better that? It's looking very good so far.
Very
nice and deep. Just coming away a little bit shy on clip 4.
Yeah, puts him out of position there for 5, but slightly on the inside of the track, but very, very chaseable run. I think this is a consistent run, so against his first one. So we'll see what the judges think of that. Big angle
90 degrees across the line. Yeah, just shy of that clip 4. Just couldn't quite make it down to the bottom there. It doesn't look like he's using very much handbrake to slow himself down. So maybe it's just a speed through clips 2 and 3 that's
hindering him out towards 4.
We'll see what the judges have to say. 80 points.
Yep,
so he does improve on his run too, putting him 20th position.
Fair play to Owen Atkinson there.
80 points, 20th position in Pro 2.
Yep.
Wow.
Justin Norcus now on the line. Crazy style, all the impact.
Yep, and he's got 90 points on the run, so I imagine this is going to be absolutely mental because he has nothing to play for. Not quite as close the first time and across the curb. This is not as good as before. Wow, look at that against the wall.
90 degrees to that. Just rubbing the back quarter of that.
I think he's definitely giving us a show, isn't he?
Yeah, he knows. I think he went for it on the first clip, but it just didn't work out and just thought, right, I'll just go for clip 4, we'll run the wall. Putting a show on for the fans today.
Just a big upshift halfway through that second hairpin and just see the smoke go from a lot of smoke to a lot of smoke.
A double lot of smoke. Look at that.
Yeah, look at the 90 degrees on that wall. Wow. The whole back end of the car flexing.
Probably a clamshell as well. No lights in that. Just bend it in, it'll be fine.
That'll be fine. So yeah, no improvement, but 6th position. Wow, wasn't that fun?
Chrissy on the line now in this
lovely E92.
Yep. Popular chassis now on these, getting more affordable.
Yeah, really good looking car as well.
Nice flick. Can he keep the speed? Not
Yeah,
using the handbrake. Yep, onto clip 2 nicely. Just
a lot on the limiter.
Banging the limiter there, whether or not we're in the right gear, but sounds better now. Currently in 29th position, so hopefully he can improve on his score and just...
Yeah, it's ever so slightly shallow on 6 there, but getting out to 7 and 8 very nicely. You hear it rattling off the limiter. That was a good run, 75 points to beat from his original run. I think he might well do it.
Whether or not the judges...
That is really nice and wide there as well.
As the scores drop in,
82.67.
Massive improvement, jumping him up to 20th place there, so moving 9 points forward and securing his place. That'll take the pressure off as well, knowing that there's some drivers to follow that could have edged him out. As you see the top 8 on the screen there, with some of these drivers still to go. Jack Mawhinney from Ireland currently in 2nd place with a 93 run, everything to play for. And such a great style coming in there.
Absolutely fantastic. Look how perfectly on the line that is. Just meeting the wall really nice and early and all the way through the clipping point, and then all the way around the outside of that corner is perfect.
Yep, Ireland producing some of the best drivers that we've seen in the BDC for quite some years.
Yeah, wow. It's really on the line, slightly struggling to get just past 8, but
good.
Another fantastic lap, just bang on. Look at this as he comes in through clip 4.
Yep, perfect. Using all the power of that little S54. Not a big horsepower car, but making it work there,
Yeah,
Mike.
really making it work. It's just, yeah, looking
good
brilliant.
driving ability there with the lower power car. So can he improve? Currently in second, I dare say he's not too concerned about
I don't
that.
think so.
And yep, he got a 91 for his second run, so only 2 points off. Stayed in second position, as we see on the line. Dave Mitchell in this JZ powered E36.
Dave Mitchell, a few mistakes in his first run on a 54.67, so can he improve?
Nice on clip 2 there.
Yeah, very nice on clip 2. Can he make it out to 4? He does, but a massive over-rotation and spin.
Sounds like he upshifted it.
Yeah.
Upshift mid-donut, keep the wheels spinning. Putting on a show for the fans. Left foot braking there.
Yeah, and he'll be very disappointed with that mistake. Just an over-rotation down in there. I almost thought he had it for a minute there, but no, unfortunately not. And that is the end of his weekend. So we move on to Damien Choppen.
Yep, another driver who's gelled really well with this new setup that he's got. Changing out of the compact E46, sorry, that he had for last season.
Yeah, it seems a lot of people that change from BMWs into S&R bodies seem to get on with them really well.
Probably, well, I'm going to say probably. Maybe it's because they've developed the skills in a BMW chassis and then come into an S body, which is proven time and time again to be, you know, a great package to have.
Yeah, and it's certainly showing. 90 points already for Damien Choppen. He's currently in 7th place. Wow, look how aggressive he is as he comes a massive flicker and so close to the wall.
Look at the speed and aggression as well from Damien Choppen.
That is so fast. Can he hold on to around the corner? He just about scrapes on the outside of the track. Coming through clip 6.
I dare say, Mike,
clip
this
7.
is going to be
This looks
very,
absolutely
very
fantastic.
Look at
and
the
right over
finish
clip
there.
8. Brilliant.
That is just what the judges were going to be looking for. Perfect on clip 1, carries all the speed. Look at this there, that's perfect.
I don't think you could see in between that and the barrier.
No, it'd have been a bit of paint fleck coming off there if you had done. But yeah, what a fantastic run there from Damien Choppen, and fair play. I reckon he might just creep up.
92.33.
Fourth. What a guess. Yeah, fair play. So
well done. Fantastic.
Very
Brilliant.
well done.
And shall we see another entry like we did last time?
Stuart Adsley just run the end
Just the nick on the end plates.
Well, let's see.
Can he do it again?
Flicks it in.
Oh, almost. I mean, when we're saying to that was still an absolutely amazing entry. Just goes to show the level and skill that we've got here today in our Pro 2 grid. It's absolutely unbelievable.
You can see why these drivers do so well when the top 4 finish and get into Pro, because they've had so many laps around this track.
Yeah.
Good to see Stu making a return to BDC for this year, currently in 15th place.
So a very safe run there from Stu Egdal. He already had 85 points on the board. I don't know if he's improved with that run, but that's certainly enough to keep him in the top 32 anyway.
The scores drop in.
He does improve, an 88.67 for Stu Egdal, puts him in 9th position. And he definitely will be happy with that.
Another driver on the line, Dan Tyler, with very good looking 14 this.
Yep.
Showed exactly how good he is.
This was a 91.33 to start off with. Can he improve on that as well? Look at his scores are absolutely incredible, and it looks like he's going for another one.
Yeah, beautiful angle there in transition as he came through from clips 2 to 3.
Yeah, very nice right through there, through clips 6 to 7. A tiny little bit of a straighten after 7 and a reinitiation, but another very good.
Been very, very picky.
We're never this picky,
no.
Usually in Pro 2.
But
ever.
Also, look at the scores of the drivers in the top 10.
It's absolutely, it's insane.
Yep, 90 plus a 91, and you sat in 5th.
What's going to happen tomorrow?
Another fantastic day of driving, and he does improve a 92.33,
wow.
And Dan Tyler into 4th position. Wow, indeed.
Wow. Here we have Danny McGuire up in his backup car again.
It's a nice backup car to have. Currently in 8th position with an 89.33, and he'll know that he can just throw it all to the...
Wow, look at that entry, but it did really mess him up a little bit after that with the small straighten. Very early on the wall, if he can hold on to this, that'll be very nice. Yeah, and he does.
Managed to save that.
Line. It's a very surprising lap from Danny McGuire.
Yeah, massive, massive entry on 1. Just getting all that sorted to 2, but then kind of gathered it up and carried on.
Yeah, I didn't think he was ever going to manage that, but it did really hung on to that very well. Danny McGuire.
Look at that. Look at the angle. Yep.
But not able.
Carries the speed though.
Yeah, the speed. He really holds that angle all the way down the wall, which is very, very impressive to watch. So, will he improve on his first run? I don't know if he will. Just having to think about 79.67. So no, not an improvement on his first run, but still plenty enough in the bag, leaving him in 8th position so far. We've got a lot of tyre, a lot of extra rubber on the front.
I think this will be Jolene. Yeah, Jolene
McDonald. Already sat with an 85 points, currently in 18th position. Can she improve on that? Very nice, very close to the wall. Nice smooth initiation there. Can she keep it going through the middle? Yeah, another very nice transition right on the end of the wall and holds it just on the edge of the tarmac. Very well positioned.
Yep, very, very good line and very fluid as well. Nice and smooth, not jerky.
It's a little bit jerky coming out of that corner there, just as you said that.
Yeah,
it's commentator's curse.
Yeah, every time. But very good chaseable run.
Yeah, really good run there from Jolene.
As you can see on the replay, like Mike was saying, right to the outer edge of the track there as the scores drop in. Can she improve on her 18th position? I think it's going to be a consistent run.
Oh,
yeah, it's 85.67.
And
it does move her forward 1 place into 14th.
Wow, really? It's really tight.
Max Fleckney now.
Max
He's got
Fleckney.
It all to play for. He scored a 0 on his first run. Car's had some major surgery. Confidence took a knock early along with the car, but look at the speed and the aggression.
Wow, look at that entry.
Can he
keep
it?
it through too? He does.
Parry.
This is looking very good so far. If he can hold it on the track, come on! Oh, and a DB'd again. Can he finish the rest of the run? So a DB'd tyre.
The tyre's come off the rim, but he's on the right side of the track for it to not be the weight-bearing wheel. And he finishes the run with the tyre. No pressure in one side, luckily.
Now that is determination.
Fair play.
That is absolute determination.
Watch this, the tyre comes off on the passenger side there. The tyre's off.
Tyre's completely, not just off, it's
destroyed.
gone.
And then he flicks it back across the tyre, then is right on the edge of the rim. Is it going to be enough? And maximum commitment there for Max to finish.
I mean, if there's someone determined, that is it.
If you could, that'd be the hard charger run there.
77.33, 25th position.
Fair play to Max Fleckney. A round of applause I can hear from the spectators there. Straight back to the pits, get that tyre back on. As we see Stuart Adsley. Sorry.
Stuart, 88.33 points, currently on the board in 11th position. He knows he's in the game. Can he improve on that score? Oh, wow, look at that, but just coming away from the wall a little bit early towards the end, but lovely angle against it. Coming off of clip 5, very deep into clip 7. Nicely
Fast as well.
through clip 8 as well. Very lots of smoke coming from that car.
Sounds nice as well.
It does sound good.
So he's currently sat in 11th position with an 88.3. See if Stu can progress on that once the judges' scores drop in.
I think there is a slight improvement. 91.67 puts him into 6th position.
So moving up for 5 places there. Stuart will be happy with that. Right, next driver up, we're gonna have
Danny Wyman in the PS 13. SR20 powered, lots of aggression. 80 points on his first run. Can he beat it? That's a lot. It's a lot of angle to carry a very long way in that car. Sounding very nice as it comes around the last corner of the track for an SR20.
no clutch kicks needed there to keep that spooling.
No clutch kicks as he crosses the line. That's a very nice run from Danny Wyman.
Could have been a little bit deeper on 4, as you see here.
Just comes away just slightly early on 4.
But he's currently...
But still a very chaseable.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We're being very critical of these drivers. The level of driving, that is just phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. Slight improvement as well.
Yep.
82.67 puts him into 19th position for Danny Wyman. Next up we have JJ Stevens. An immaculately prepared R34. Look how clean it is just under the back of that car. 67.67, currently in 39th position, needs to do better than that to get into the running today. Unfortunately, that can he put it together for the rest of the lap and get into the top 32? There's a lot of smoke coming from the back of that car, a lot of wheel speed.
Yep. Shallow on clips 1 though, Mike, so I'm not sure if that's going to hurt his score, but is he going to be able to get enough on the board and get him up the extra 7 places needed into the top 32? As we just look at the replay there, like you were saying, massive wheel speed
through the centre of the track.
And he does improve, but not enough, unfortunately. 36th position there for JJ Stevens. Very dark and gloomy in there.
Craig Barber in an E36 1UZ turbo. 74.33, right on the drop zone, and
big
just that
handbrake.
entry,
sat on the handbrake way too long,
and just cut that corner as well. I think it was because they ain't coming far too fast and just making an
ash of things.
Yeah, a bit of a mess of this run as well. He's not going to be very happy with himself at the end of this run. So a few problems there from Craig Barber. Probably not the run that he was hoping to do. Currently sat in 31st position, so he's only just in there. It's luck for him now.
Yep, the drivers who are about to come take their next runs. Let's see if they, hopefully they don't edge him out, but we'll, yeah, 41.6, so very scrappy from his initial first run there.
Next up we have Tom Van Beek.
Put a really good run in on his first out in a 90.6, currently sat in 7th, wow. And look at the speed and aggression.
Wow, look how close he was there.
On the wall. He's flying in this little MX-5. Pushes out lovely on 4 there, just running the outer edge of the clips, the track. Nice transition. A little bit snappy there from 6 through to 7, but you can't knock this line at all, apart from the commentator's curse.
Why?
Right on the end.
Just shy off of 7 and a little bit too close to the apex on 8, but other than that, a lovely run Not
This
sure
is
on
a great
improvement.
look
Look
at
at
Ah.
just
Just
imagine that tailpipe just went zing off of the top
just
of the
folded the
concrete.
corner of it in slightly. Or a titanium tipped one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Very impressive, especially for the car that he's driving. Just the 1.8 original engine with a turbo on it.
Doesn't
improve, but
85.
still a brilliant run.
Absolutely, he'll be over the moon with that starting 7th. And a difficult chassis to drive on these, just with how short they are, makes them very snappy for transition. As we...
So let's go into the final scores.
So Sam Nolan and Ryan Toporowski not getting runs in. Matthew Roberts, Alex Chapman, Callum Turpey, Vigilas Arbaraskas and Ventsislav Georgiev.
We've got from
bottom.
Aiden Dowd with nothing, Don Burke 36, Josh Holdsworth 41, Eric Ludnick 49, Dave Mitchell 54, Josh Payne 55, Mark Chapman 56. Okay.
So, as you can see there, that rounding out the second half of the group, Craig Barber does stay within the top 32, and Richie Gilby be trying to make sure that car's right and ready for the top 32. Some big names in here. Alex Hildebrand one to watch, Stuart Adsley, especially Damien Choppen as well, coming through with the S14. We're going to see some amazing battles later today, this afternoon, but Igis Minelga rounding off the top qualifier here in the R33.
Yeah, we've got some Egis Minelga, Jack McWinney, Stephen McConnell, and Dan Tyler in the top 4. All from 7 upwards from 8 upwards is 90 points each run, which is absolutely fantastic. I've never seen this before in a Pro Tour event.
No, me neither, Mike. And we will be back with the action and the battles from 2:50 later today.
Join us then. Bye.
Drifting can be the most demanding motorsport in the world. My name is June Main. The high RPMs required to keep my tires spinning and rubber burning are brutal on engine oil. That's why Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer was formulated for performance on the track and the highway. Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer keeps my power on for split-second decisions, making every shift and turn count. When it comes to my engine and engine oil, I give it every advantage with Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
As a professional drifter, my results depend on numbers. And making all this add up is one product, Lucas Octane Booster. It delivers 3 times the boost and promotes a clean fuel burn that keeps my tires smoking through every turn, which even off the racetrack can be difficult not to do. Depend on Lucas Octane Booster.